On day 1, I spawned into the Amaranth Fields as a golden gorilla. Now it looks like I'm a gorillionaire. Well, a baby gorillionaire anyway. But I bet with my hard work, I can get bigger, stronger, and even shinier. My golden gorilla voice was a little too loud though, because it attracted the attention of someone who wasn't so nice. A strange green man in a crown emerged.
Wee-hee-hee! 'Tis me, the great and glorious Goblin King! All will bow to my excellence!
Oh, hi, Goblin King. Your Highness, I'm Zozo, the golden gorilla.
No! This simply won't do! You're too shiny! Nobody should be shinier than my crown!
I can't help how shiny I am, Your Highness, and I promise that I didn't mean to offend you.
I don't care what you mean! I'm the Goblin King, and what I want, I get! And you're gonna be a lot less shiny once my fully sick boys have beaten you senseless and buried you beneath the earth!
Suddenly, some ogres emerged and started stomping towards me. All I could do was run for my life and get out of there, but I could still hear the Goblin King's shrill voice behind me.
You can run, but you can't hide! We'll never give up, Zozo! Never!
I kept running until I couldn't hear him anymore. Guess I'm gonna need to topple the Goblin King if I want to get any peace around here. On day 2, I started exploring more of the Amaranth Fields. It's pretty nice out here, but I guess looks can be deceiving if the Goblin King and his ogres are running around here, and I've only got 10 hearts. I'd better find something to eat, and fast! Luckily, I stumbled on an apple tree. I used all of my baby gorilla strength to shake the apples down from the tree and gobble them up. That really hit the spot. I love apples.
Good choice for your last meal then. Get it? Because you're dead meat, shiny boy.
I turned around and saw the Goblin King's ogres charging toward me. Uh-oh, I don't think I'm ready for a fight, but I guess I don't have a choice. They attacked me, and I tried my best to fight back, but they were way too tough for me, and there were so many of them. It's only my second day. It can't already be over for me. No!
Hang on, little gorilla. I've got this.
A gobber jumped into the fray, fighting off the ogres long enough for me to get away from them.
Follow me. Let's get you out of here before more of these jokers show up. By the way, my name's Greg.
I'm Zozo. On day 3, I followed the friendly gobber to his campfire. Thank you for saving me.
Don't sweat it, kid. Any enemy of the Goblin King is a friend of mine.
He hates me just because I'm shiny and golden.
Don't take it personally. That attention hog can't stand it if anyone else is special. That's why so many of us are trying to overthrow him. Everyone deserves to shine, not just that so-called king. Here, I got someone you should meet.
The gobber introduced me to a goblo sitting near the fire. I told the goblo that I was the Goblin King's latest target.
Tough luck, Zozo. Sorry to hear that. But you're in the right place if you want to end the Goblin King's regime. We've been working on it for quite some time, and I get the feeling you'll be a great help. You'll need to get a lot stronger first, though. Think you can do that?
Yes, I do.
That's what I like to hear. First things first, you're gonna need a base. Get to work building one. I'll send Greg along to help you out.
Thank you so much.
Don't ever let them dull your shine, Zozo.
From day 4 to day 5, I got to work building a base. Before I can build anything, I'll need some wood and some tools. I gathered enough wood to craft a wooden pickaxe, then used that pickaxe to gather some stone. Now I can use this to make a full set of tools. I'd better hurry up so I can build my base before it gets dark. I crafted a set of stone tools, and then it was finally time to build my base. A room for me and a room for Greg. There, looks pretty good. It's small, but I'll have time to build more later. Greg, come check out our new home.
Sweet digs, kid. I like it. Great place to hang my hat for a little while.
But you're not wearing a hat.
Well, if I get a hat, I'll have a place to hang it. Hey, kid, look out behind you.
I turned around and was jumped by a garch. This time, though, I had a sword to defend myself. I fought back and managed to defeat the nasty creature. Hey, I did it! Oh, I feel kind of funny. Suddenly, I grew bigger, and I felt my hearts increase to 30. Awesome! I yelled with excitement, and a blast of fire came out of my mouth.
Careful with that fire breath, buddy. Don't burn the house down.
Sorry. From day 6 to day 8, I took my new set of tools, improved strength, and super cool fire breath, and went out exploring. I traveled to the jungle, where I spotted a poor, innocent little Kato being attacked by a Shadowneer. Hey, cut that out! The Shadowneer didn't listen, so I had to make him listen with a blast of fire breath. He got pretty angry about being burned, but I had my sword ready to go, and we battled it out. The Shadowneer was tough, but I was tougher, and I managed to win the fight. You're safe now, little Kato.
Thank you. I've never met a hero like you before, but I'm afraid I'm still not safe. I was trying to run away from a bigger, badder monster when that Shadowneer attacked me. See, my house was invaded by a Reaver. He kicked me out and said if I tried to come back, he'd kill me. Could you help me get my home back?
That's terrible. Of course I'll help. From day 9 to day 10, I followed the little Kato to his house, and sure enough, there was a huge, scary-looking Reaver standing guard outside.
Hey, I told you to clear out of here. Maybe you didn't learn your lesson last time. Do I need to tell you again with more pain?
The only one who's gonna get hurt around here is you!
What? You're here to fight me? Ha! You're tiny, like a little gold statue of a gorilla. You don't scare me.
Well, maybe this will! I opened my mouth and shot a blast of fire breath at the Reaver, but he didn't even flinch!
Oh, thanks. I was getting kinda chilly. Now it's my turn.
Uh-oh! He launched himself at me, knocking me back. He was way too strong! I don't think I'm ready for this fight. I'm so sorry, little Kato. We've gotta run. But I promise I'll come back and finish the job once I'm strong enough. I ran away as fast as I could, the little Kato right by my side. Until we get your house back, you can come stay at my base with me. From day 11 to day 12, I escorted the little Kato back to my base. I'll need to build another room, so he has somewhere to sleep. I got to work, and before long, I had added on a room for my new guest. Here you go. I hope you're comfortable here.
Thank you so much! I wanted to give you something in return for letting me stay here, but I didn't have anything with me, so I hope you don't mind, but I added something to your base. Come take a look!
He showed me a brand new storage hut.
I figured you could keep things in here. Weapons, I guess, or whatever you want.
It's great! Thank you! Now you get some rest. I've got more work to do.
Wait, before I do, are you the golden gorilla that the Goblin King is trying to get rid of?
I sure am.
Oh, I'm so sick of that Goblin King. He wasn't always in charge, you know. He came here a little while ago with an army of ogres and scared everyone into listening to him. No one even knows where he came from, or if he's a real king at all.
No wonder he's so worried about being outshined. Thanks for the info, little Kato.
My name is Lyle, just by the way.
I'm Zozo. Nice to meet you. Lyle went off to take a nap, and I headed into a nearby cavern to do some mining. I gathered some iron ore, perfect for upgrading my gear. I used a furnace to smelt the ore into iron ingots and crafted an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. I still feel like the base is missing something. As I was brainstorming, I spotted a herd of sheep grazing nearby. Hey, sheep! Why don't you come live with me? I built them a sheep farm to live in and herded them inside. Not too bad, if I do say so myself. From day 13 to day 15, I was trying to come up with ideas on how to grow stronger. I decided to talk to Greg and get some advice. Hey Greg, I'm running out of time to get strong enough to defeat the Goblin King. What can I do?
Well, kid, when I want to get stronger, I get out of my comfort zone. Try going somewhere new, maybe fighting some new enemies. You'll never grow just staying in the same place all the time.
Great idea. I'll go back to the jungle. That was a pretty intense place. I traveled back to the jungle and started exploring the unfamiliar terrain. While I was walking, I spotted some familiar faces, the ogres. They were too strong for me before, but I think I'm ready to try again. Hey, remember me?
Hey, look, it's the Golden Gorilla. Let's get him, boys.
I opened my mouth and shot fire breath at them, engulfing them in flames.
Ouch! Where'd you learn to do that?
I didn't answer the question. I just drew my iron sword and attacked again. This time, they were the ones who weren't prepared. And one by one, I defeated them all. I did it! I did it! Hey, what's this? There was a health potion on the ground. They must have dropped this. Well, finders keepers. I drank the health potion, and right away, my hearts increased to 60. Woohoo! I was doing a victory dance when I accidentally shot a fireball. Hey, that's new. I'm on fire here. From day 16 to day 19, I followed Greg's advice and kept exploring. My journey took me all the way to the desert. It sure is hot out here. I wish I had a nice shady tree to sit under. Oh, and some coconuts. But instead of coconuts, I found a book. The Book of Information. Information about what? I guess I'll see. It says the Goblin King was once a lonely little goblin underling, the lowest of the low. One day, he had enough of being bossed around. He snuck up on the leader of his kingdom, destroyed him with a sneak attack, and stole his crown. Now, he lives in fear of being seen as the fraud that he is, and having someone take his place. Wow, I'd feel bad for him if he wasn't trying to kill me.
Get that gorilla!
I was suddenly ambushed by more of the Goblin King's ogres, but with my new fireball attack, they didn't stand a chance. I burnt them all to a crisp and vanquished them. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at this whole fighting thing. From day 20 to day 22, I traveled back home to my base. Time to go back into the mines and see if I can upgrade my gear some more. I entered the mine and quickly found some iron ore. After I smelted it into ingots, I was able to craft an iron chestplate. With my new attack, my new strength, and this armor, I think I can finally fight that Reaver. So I traveled back to Lyle's house, where that nasty Reaver was still stomping around like he owned the place.
Back for more. Can't get enough of the taste of defeat.
You can't just take people's houses. I'm going to show you what happens when you do. I hit him with a fireball, and this time it worked. It knocked him back. While he was recovering, I got my sword and rushed at the Reaver, swinging my blade as hard as I could. He attacked me, but I came back at him even harder. A couple of hits later, he was down.
Whee! Well, look at that! You're getting stronger, I see!
It was the Goblin King. He was watching me from behind a nearby tree.
I'll have to send stronger minions to get rid of you, it seems. No matter! I will! I always get what I want, you know!
Only because you sneak up on people. You'll never win in a fair fight.
Well, we'll have to sort out that, won't we? I have grand plans for your demise, Zozo! Such grand plans! Whee!
And with that, he disappeared. From day 23 to day 26, I ran back to my base as fast as I could. My encounter with the Goblin King had shaken me up a little bit, but I was still excited to give Lyle the good news about his house. Lyle, guess what? The Reaver is finally gone.
Really? That's amazing, but
Oh no, what is it?
it's just, I've been having so much fun staying here with you guys. Do you think I could keep living here instead?
Sure, stay as long as you want. With that settled, I ventured back into the mines to look for some more iron ore. After I found enough, I smelted it into ingots and crafted a new iron helmet and a pair of shiny iron boots. While I was trying on my new armor, Lyle came to see me.
Hey, Zozo. As a thanks for everything, I built a perimeter wall around the base to help keep us safe. So nothing like the Reaver attack ever happens here.
I went outside and checked it out. That's amazing. I feel safer already. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back out to the desert to continue exploring in the harsh climate. I was kicking around the sand, getting lost in my thoughts, when I saw something. A silver lobo sat under a palm tree.
Hey, you're the gold guy who beat up all those ogres.
I sure am.
Well, that was super neat of you. If you're still in a heroic mood, I could use some help. Any chance you have a place I could stay for a while? The Goblin King doesn't like how silver I am, and I'm scared he'll send more ogres after me.
He's doing the same thing to me for being gold. I'd be happy to help. Follow me back to my base. You can stay there. The silver lobo and I headed back to my base, and when we got there, I'd take a second to shear my sheep and gather some wool. Hey, this gives me an idea. I decided to hang some decorative banners on my base just to spice up the place. These really class up the place.
Sweet banners, kid, but sorry to interrupt. Goblo needs our help.
Who?
Goblo the Goblo. You met him when I saved you. Now it's your turn to help me save him. Quick, let's go.
From day 32 to day 35, Greg and I traveled back to the Goblo's campfire to see what was going on. When we got there, a whole horde of ogres was making a mess of the place. Goblo was way outnumbered. Goblo, we're here to help.
Oh, how sweet. Baby Gorilla thinks he can save his friend. Well, you're too late, loser.
I shot a fireball at them, destroying them in one hit. But when Greg and I rushed over to check on Goblo, he was already halfway gone.
Thank you for coming, boys, but I'm afraid they were too much for me. I don't have a lot of time left, Zozo. You can finish what I couldn't. Defeat the rest of the ogres.
I will. And just like that, Goblo was gone. From day 36 to day 39, I didn't want to go home after losing Goblo. I needed to get my mind off of things. So instead, I traveled to the jungle to look for some bad guys to fight or someone to help. I just need something useful to do.
Are you talking to me?
there was a rouge tomato suddenly staring at me. No, I was talking to myself.
Well, could you be talking to me? If you're trying to be useful, I need some help.
Sure, what's going on?
Well, I need help taking on a rattlesnake near here. He's really messing up the neighborhood, kicking everybody out. I need some muscle to get him to lay off.
You got it! It didn't take me long to find the rattlesnake. He was hissing and pacing back and forth, looking for trouble. Well, he found it, and trouble was me! I took him out with a few quick fireballs and a finishing move with my sword. Your rattlesnake problem is all taken care of.
Thanks, you're a swell guy. Not like that freak in the crown who came through here earlier.
The Goblin King?
Yeah, that's him. Said he's trying to recruit new goons to help him get rid of some gold monkey or something. Sounds like a bad scene. And seems like the kind of guy who doesn't ever fight his own fights, but still wants to act like a tough guy. If you're not a fighter, just admit it to yourself. That's what I did, and it worked out.
Yup, thanks for the info.
Yeah, forget about it.
From day 40 to day 43, I left the friendly, but kinda weird, rouge tomato behind and walked back to my base. When I got there, Greg was waiting for me, and he looked excited about something.
Hey, kid, I thought we could both use some cheering up. So I added some couches to the base for hanging out. And I was thinking, maybe we could invite some more friends to stay here with us.
Absolutely, the more the merrier.
Great, my other goblin friend should be here soon.
A little while later, Greg's friend arrived and settled in. Nice to meet ya. After a while, the silver lobo I helped out before came to find me.
You've already done so much for me, but could I ask for one more favor? I left my favorite book behind, and I can't go back and get it without being attacked by some really scary monsters. Could you go look for it for me?
I'll do my best to get your book back. We can put it on one of those shelves when I do. From day 44 to day 49, I trudged out to the desert to look for the Silver Lobo's book. I don't see any books, I just see a ton of sand. I don't like sand at all. It's so coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. As I was digging through the sand looking for the book, the Goblin King ran up from behind me.
Whee! Tremble in fear! It's me!
I'm not scared of you.
Oh, but you should be! You think I'll only stop with your demise? No, silly Zozo! I'm going to get rid of everything shiny in this land! Every living thing that is silver, gold, diamond, that glitters and shimmers brightly! My crown will be the only shiny thing left, and then no one will doubt my authority as king!
Or you could try being a kind and just ruler?
Are you kidding me? That sounds terrible! Sorry, Zozo, but I have to run! Bear with me!
What?
Sorry, I misspoke! I have a bear with me! Enjoy fighting my bear! Bye!
The Goblin King ran off, and a massive, hulking grizzly bear ran in! From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the Goblin King's mighty grizzly bear. The grizzly bear charged at me. I fought back with a fireball and jumped out of the way before he could scratch me with his claws. But the bear was tough, and he came at me again. This is my hardest fight yet. It was difficult, and the bear was much bigger and stronger than me, but I was better at dodging. And I had fire powers that most bears don't have. And all of that helped me win in the end. Phew, that was a close one. I'm glad I made it. Ooh, sparkly. The grizzly bear dropped a diamond on the ground during the fight. I should take it with me. I bet I'll need it later. From day 54 to day 57, I continued my search for the Silver Lobo's book. She said there were scary monsters involved, but I haven't seen anything but sand. And that bear, but that wasn't normal for this place, I'm pretty sure. Finally, I happened upon a specter. I don't think it's that scary, but I bet that's what she's talking about. Hey, did you take someone's book? The specter didn't answer me. It just started attacking. Well, I guess that's your answer. Fireball! I blasted the specter with a fireball, and I totally vaporized it. Sure enough, it dropped the book. What's this book about anyway? Seems like a lot of trouble for one little book. Oh, it says my diary on it. No wonder she wanted it back. I ran back to my base and delivered the book to the Silver Lobo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the nicest golden gorilla I've ever met. Not that I've met any others. There used to be more of you, I've heard. And other gold creatures. But the Goblin King has been getting rid of them ever since he took the throne. It's just terrible.
Well, I can't let him get away with it anymore. From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to make room for even more sheep. There, now you guys can spread out a bit more and have some room to roam. They didn't say anything back, but I think they were happy about it. Next, I returned to the mines. The diamond the bear dropped got me thinking. I want to craft some diamond gear. I gathered some diamonds and used them, along with the diamond the bear dropped, to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Now I'm even shinier than ever. Take that, Goblin King. When I climbed back out of the mines and went back to my base, Greg was waiting for me.
Welcome back, kid. Since we've got more folks staying with us now, I took the liberty of letting them invite even more friends over. Hopefully you don't mind.
Of course I don't mind. You know what I say, the more the merrier. From day 63 to day 66, I tried to decide where to go next. I need to keep getting stronger so I can stop the Goblin King from carrying out his evil plans. What should I do next?
Zozo, I just got a letter from my friend in the lush tundra. She said that there is some kind of dangerous creature out there making trouble, and it might be working for the Goblin King. If you play your cards right, you could get fighting experience and some information, all at the same time.
Wow, that's like getting two things with only one thing. Awesome! I traveled to the lush tundra, and a huge warped toad leapt into my path. Uh-oh, this must be the creature making trouble. I got my sword ready and was taking a deep breath to unleash some fire on the toad when she spoke.
Wait, no! I'm Alex, Lyle's friend. I'm the one who asked for your help. You're Zozo, right?
Oh, sorry, my mistake. So if you're not the one I'm here to fight, who is? From day 67 to day 70, Alex the warped toad led me to the danger she had told me about, a warped Moscow hovering menacingly above the ground.
There it is. Think you can help?
I sure do. Time to squash that bug.
Be careful. That's one mean Moscow.
I listened to Alex's warning, and I approached the warped Moscow slowly. But as soon as it saw me, it started buzzing aggressively and swooped at me. I had to dodge and counter with a fireball. The warped Moscow couldn't get away in time, and the fireball hit it, knocking it down. I took my chance to finish it off right then and there. I did it! Your Moscow troubles are over, Alex.
Thank you so much. Lyle wasn't kidding. You really are a hero.
I'm just trying my best. I only hope I'm going to be enough of a hero to take on the Goblin King. From day 71 to day 74, I decided to explore the lush tundra a bit more. I already came all the way out here, I might as well get a good look. As I was exploring, I spotted a sign that spelled out Z-O-Z. I didn't know what that means, but it's almost my name. That reminds me, if you want to see more Zozo videos, you can find them by searching Z-O-Z-O. I arrived in a new part of the lush tundra and saw a chest there. Oh, I wonder what's inside. When I opened it, there was nothing in there. Oh, that's disappointing.
Wee! Sorry to see you so sad, Zozo. Just kidding. I love to see you sad. You'll never beat me.
I was so angry, I shot a fireball at the Goblin King, but he dodged it and attacked me. He was still way too strong for me to fight him and win. Just you wait. I'll get stronger, and then you'll know how it feels to lose. I didn't want to, but I had to get out of there. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. When I finally got there, I was so mad that I locked myself in my room. Can't believe I had to run away like that. I'm such a loser. I heard someone outside of my room, and when I went to check, the Silver Loba was standing there.
Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to show you something. I've been heading on to the base. Want to come look?
Okay. I followed her, and she led me to a new watchtower. You built this for me?
I wanted to cheer you up. It'll help keep us all a lot safer, in case the Goblin King tries anything sneaky.
That's so great. Thank you. I feel better already.
I've also got something that might help, too.
Greg came over and handed me a novelty hat.
It's silly, but I told you a home is a good place to hang your hat. So, I got you a hat.
When I put the hat on, I felt a lot better and stronger too. Before I knew it, my hearts increased to 100. I jumped for joy, and I jumped way higher than usual. Whoa, a jump boost! Thank you so much! From day 79 to day 84, I ventured back out into the lush tundra to look for the Goblin King. Now that I'm stronger, I want to try and fight him again. I looked all over, but didn't see him anywhere. I did see some Black Death though. Close enough for now. Still an evil force I can test out my new strength on. I fought the Black Death and beat it easily. When I did, I was approached by a grateful rat.
Ooh, that was very impressive fighting. I couldn't help but notice your shiny diamond sword. Someone dropped this, and I picked it up to keep. But I think you should have it. Here!
The rat gave me diamond leggings. This is perfect. From day 85 to day 89, I took my new diamond leggings and traveled back home to my base. When I got there, I was shocked to see ogres stamping all over the place, tearing it down. No, get out of here!
Oh no! Did you think we wouldn't find you? Smash, 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 smash the whole place to bits!
I shot a fireball at the ogres, and they ran off into the fields. Ah, no you don't. I chased after them as fast as I could. As I was pursuing the ogres, a rat jumped in front of me.
Quickly, could you tell me the way to the lush tundra? My cousin lives there.
I pointed him in the right direction.
Thanks, you're a pal.
With another good deed done, I continued my chase. From day 90 to day 94, I tracked the ogres all the way to a castle. This must be Goblin King's palace. I'd better not get too close. I'm sure he's got guards all over the place. I'll focus on these jokers for now. I decided to shoot a fireball at the guard at the castle entrance. That's what you get for messing with my home.
Ouch! Get a boss!
Is the Goblin King here?
No, he won't dirty his hands fighting you, little gorilla. That's my job.
A plague beast emerged and came running at me. He attacked me before I could do anything, and the blow knocked me back. Uh-oh, this guy is really strong. This won't be easy. From day 95 to day 97, I continued my battle against the plague beast. It was, by far, my most dangerous fight yet. I've got to make it through this. I can't let the Goblin King win.
He's already won, fool! There are only a handful of days left before his army will sweep the land, imprisoning any that dare to try to outshine the king!
No! I won't let that happen! I used my jump boost to jump out of the way of his next attack and blasted him with a fireball. Then I came at him with my diamond sword and finally turned the tide of the fight. I was going to win! For my final attack, I jumped high and hit him where he least expected it.
It seems I underestimated you. Perhaps you will win after all, if you can best the Goblin King himself in a one-on-one fight, that is.
I will, no matter what. I'm going to do whatever it takes to defeat the Goblin King once and for all. And just like that, the Plague Beast was defeated! On day 98, I returned to my base with a renewed sense of purpose. This golden gorilla is going to win! I just know it. I've come a long way, and I know I still have room to improve, but I feel like a real hero now. Brighter, stronger, and shinier than ever. First, the Silver Lobo spoke to me.
You are Zozo. Here, take this health potion for help on your quest. I believe in you. We all deserve to shine, and you shine brighter than anyone I've ever met.
That means a lot. Thank you. And then, Greg.
Hey kid, I'm proud of you. Don't leave without your hat, okay?
I would never. And finally, Lyle.
Remember, the Goblin King only wins fights by sneaking up on people. Don't let him sneak up on you, and you'll be able to defeat him.
Thank you for believing in me. I'll try my best. On day 99, I set off on my journey to the Goblin King's castle. I passed through the lush tundra on my way and remembered my success there. I was able to help so many people, and if I can pull this off, it'll help so many more. Finally, I reached the castle. It was crawling with ogre guards. I'll never get through all of them without the Goblin King finding out I'm here. If he does, he'll be able to sneak up on me. As I was trying to come up with a plan, Alex, the warped toad, jumped out of hiding and started attacking the ogres. Alex, you came to help me.
We toads believe in reciprocity. You helped me, I help you. Now get inside and finish this.
Alex led the ogres away, and I began to sneak into the castle. On day 100, I crept my way into the castle. That's where I saw the Goblin King looking at horses. I thought about attacking him, but I realized that would be wrong. I'm not like him. I want a fair fight. Hey, stop horsing around.
What? What's happening? Oh, wee Zozo, I see. You've come to my palace to turn yourself in?
No, I'm here to fight you. Fair and square. No tricks.
A Goblin King always has a few tricks up his sleeve.
Suddenly, he turned invisible, and I lost sight of him. Uh-oh, he's somewhere in here, trying to sneak up on me. I listened carefully, and when I heard him moving, I used my jump boost to jump out of the way of his ambush. Ha! Gotcha! I spotted him and launched a fireball at him. It hit!
Ow, ow, ow! No! You're not supposed to be so good at this! I'm supposed to win! I always win!
Not anymore! I attacked with my sword next. He fought back, but I was stronger than him. I had learned how to defeat the forces of evil, and after a difficult fight, I finally did. The Goblin King crown fell on the floor at my feet. If I were like you, I'd take this. But I don't want to be king. I just want to go home and hang out with my friends. I'm ending this reign of terror, here and now. And with one last fireball, I finished him off. It was finally over! I did it! Time to go home, hug my friends, and take a well-deserved nap. From now on, things are gonna be good as gold. On day 1, I spawned into the Stony Peaks as an awesome elemental spider! 10 hearts. That isn't too bad. Still, I could probably afford to be a lot stronger. I started to crawl around on my 8 elemental legs. It was in the middle of the night, with the moon shining up above. I couldn't help but feel like something spooky was about to happen. And then, in the cold of the moonlight, a huge, scary werewolf jumped out.
Ooh, hello there, little one. You look lost. Come with me. I can help you find your way.
My, Mr. Werewolf, what big teeth you have.
Yes, little spider. All the better to eat you with.
He came charging towards me, and in a panic, I used one of my inherent spider powers, putting down as many cobwebs as I could. Lucky for me, the web slowed the werewolf down, buying me some time.
That's a dirty trick. Come back here.
No way! I ran away as fast as I could, crawling through the Stony Peaks and trying to escape. But during my daring escape, I was ambushed by some vicious worgons.
Not so fast, Spider. We want to play.
But I didn't want to play, so I did all I could to escape and find a place to hide for the night. I waited for hours for morning to come, but it never did. The night just went on and on. Something's really wrong here. On day 2, or at least after time for a whole day had passed, I noticed that the eternal night had continued, and a big bright moon still hung up in the sky. This is so weird. Why isn't it ever daytime around here? It just doesn't make sense. But I couldn't afford to sit around and hide. My elemental spider stomach was grumbling. I started skittering around and searching for something to eat, until I happened upon an apple tree full of rich, juicy apples. Ooh, don't mind if I do. I climbed the tree to get the apples, ate them, and then gathered some wood to make a wooden pickaxe. I mined some stone with it and used that stone to make a stone pickaxe and stone sword. If I'm gonna be trapped in a nightmarish eternal night, I might as well at least have a roof over my head. I mined enough stone from the Stony Peaks to start building myself a basic little spider nest. 1 room, a bed, and a few lanterns to offset the scary darkness. Be it ever so spooky, there's no place like home. And while I was admiring my work, I got interrupted by another worgen running in to attack me.
Tasty spider. I'll eat you alive.
Eat this instead. I lashed out with my sword, striking brave and true until the worgen was defeated. In that moment, I knew that I could stand up for myself. On day 3, I left my base in the Stony Peaks to hang around the Sunflower Plains. It was still in the middle of the deep, dark night. Maybe I can find some interesting materials for my gear or my base around here. Instead, I felt a sudden cold gust of air blowing across the plains. A terrifying presence had entered the space. I looked up and saw a big, frightening Solnir galloping towards me.
You should not be here, little spider. This is a dark and terrible place. If you're not careful, you could get hurt.
I knew he wasn't warning me. He was threatening me, and he looked way too tough for me to take him on, so all I could do was run. I fled across the plains as fast as I could, with the Solnir hot on my heels. He was catching up to me. All I could do was use my special move, dropping more cobwebs to slow him down.
You can't keep running forever, Zozo. I'll get you eventually.
I was able to get out of there while the Solnir was trapped. I felt bad about running away. I need to stick to my guns and stand up for myself, or I'm never gonna solve this problem.
Out of my way, fool.
I looked down and saw a strange little creature standing at my feet. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the Onion Queen, you knave, and you will bow before me. My castle was destroyed in a worgen attack, and now I need to seek out a new castle.
Well, Your Highness, why not come and stay at my base? I'd appreciate the company.
This is agreeable, but only if my room is extremely elegant.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my base in the Stony Peaks with Her Highness, the Onion Queen.
This place is a horrible dump, Zozo. Not at all befitting of my regal nature, but it will have to do.
Thanks for compromising for me, Your Highness. I guess. I set to work mining more stone until soon I'd excavated enough to make a new room where the Onion Queen could stay. I did my best to make it an elegant royal suite, but my resources were pretty limited at this stage.
I won't lie to you, Zozo. It's utterly hideous. But it will have to do. Thank you for the effort you put in.
I left the base again to mine some more stone, but while I was out there, I was attacked by another gang of Worgans. You guys just won't give up, will you? It's nighttime all the time out here. Don't you Worgans ever sleep? They didn't reply. Instead, they ran in and attacked me, and I fought them back with my stone sword. When I'd finally defeated the nasty little gang, I noticed that one of them had dropped an interesting piece of loot. Wait, is that a battle axe? Don't they freeze any mobs I hit for 10 seconds? That'd be super useful later. From day 6 to day 8, I was back in the Stony Peaks looking for a decent mining cavern where I could upgrade all my weapons and tools. Some iron would change everything, but it's so hard to hunt some down when it's so dark all the time.
Can't find your iron, eh? How about I help you out with an iron fist?
I turned with terror and saw the giant werewolf standing right in front of me. He somehow looked even bigger and scarier now.
You nasty little trickster. I bet you thought you were real smart using that trick with the spiderwebs. But with these new weapons, I won't even need to run to get you.
That's when I noticed that the werewolf was carrying a stack of javelins. If he was good with them, I was in real trouble. Let's just talk, wolf to spider. I want some answers, werewolf. Can't you tell me why it's so dark all the time? Did you do this?
I don't owe you any answers. All I owe you is a javelin to the face. Get running, Spider-Man.
I started running away as the werewolf chased, throwing his javelins at me as I tried to flee. I managed to dodge most of them, but when one of them hit me, I lost most of my hearts. Oh no, oh no, 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 no! I knew if I took another javelin, I'd be doomed. I needed to make a plan, quickly. Wait, I've got it! I used my cobweb power again, building a wall of them. It wouldn't keep him back for long, but it might at least block some of his javelins. I've never been happier to be a web slinger. With the little time that bought me, I'd managed to escape the wrath of the werewolf yet again. From day 9 to day 10, I was resting in my base, still recovering from that stressful attack by the werewolf. Boy, when the sun doesn't come out, it feels like there's no motivation to get up and get going. But I didn't just get to laze around all day. Instead, the Onion Queen suddenly burst into my room.
Zozo, get up this instant! Your queen demands it! You're never going to get anything done if you can't even get out of bed!
Sorry, Your Majesty. I didn't mean to upset you.
I've taken the liberty of improving your base to make it live up to my own royal standards. Go check outside. I've begun work on constructing a great statue to inspire you into action for my honor.
I went outside and saw that the Onion Queen had been true to her word. She'd started building an amazing statue for me, but I couldn't tell what it was just yet. What about you? What do you guys think? Do you know what the Onion Queen's statue is gonna be? Let me know down in the comments. The Onion Queen wasn't done. She'd also made several other base upgrades. A training room where I could work hard and get stronger, and even a furnace to smelt metal ores and diamonds with a storage room where we could keep all of our supplies. You've outdone yourself with all this, Your Majesty.
What can I say? I've always had a knack for architecture. It runs in the royal bloodline.
From day 11 to day 12, I was laying in bed in a state of uneasy sleep. The fact that night and day were no longer different made it really difficult to decide when I should go to bed. While I was sleeping, I dreamed of daylight on the Stony Peaks. I dreamed of the bright sun up in the air. And strangely, I dreamed of a lone villager walking through the peaks. The villager wasn't strong, and nobody took him seriously. What most people didn't know was that he had a powerful secret. Every full moon, he'd turn into a powerful werewolf. A werewolf that everyone fears and respects. But the problem was that the villager could only access this power under the full moon. He wanted to be a werewolf all the time, so he sought out an ancient and powerful spellbook. With the spellbook, he ushered in an eternal night and an eternal full moon. That way, he could always be the werewolf and always be the most powerful person out there. I woke up in a cold, elemental spider sweat. I knew everything now, and I knew that if I wanted the sun to rise again, I needed to defeat the werewolf once and for all. From day 13 to day 15, now knowing what I needed to do, I realized that I needed to get stronger if I wanted to defeat the werewolf and return sunlight to the overworld. If I'm going to be strong, I need to not be afraid. I need to take on even the most challenging enemies. That's why I returned to the Sunflower Plains that the sun hadn't touched in a long time to take on the Solnir.
So, you return to me, little spider. Are you ready to leave this cold, dark world?
No, Solnir, I'm just getting started. Come at me. And he did. The Solnir galloped in, but he didn't know that I had my battle axe ready. With one strike, he was frozen in place, and I pulled out my stone sword to finish him off. With the Solnir destroyed, I had enough XP to level up and get stronger. I had 30 hearts, and my first elemental power, Ice Blast! This is awesome! This new power will catch that evil werewolf by surprise! From day 16 to day 19, with my new power and confidence, I knew that I needed to get myself some new equipment too. After all that searching around the stony peaks, I finally found a mining cavern that looked like it might have a rich vein of iron inside. Time to get mining! I descended into the mining cavern until I found the iron I was looking for. After hacking through the blocks with my stone pickaxe, I collected up the iron ore and started to leave. But on the way out, I was cornered by a big, scary hellhound. Nice doggy. Lucky for me, I had my new power. I blasted the hellhound with my ice blast, freezing it in place. I didn't want to hurt him, so I just snuck out as quickly as I could while he was still frozen. Not long after, I made it back to my base, where I used the furnace that the Onion Queen built me to smelt the iron into ingots, and made myself some new tools, an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. Nothing's gonna stop me now! From day 20 to day 22, I got another rude awakening from the Onion Queen. Okay, I'll get up. Just give me 5 more minutes, Your Majesty.
No time, Zozo! That ghastly werewolf! He's here, at the future Onion Queen Palace!
What? Oh no! With no time to waste, I skittered out of my room on my 8 elemental legs and met the terrifying werewolf standing right there!
You, little spider, are one of the biggest cowards I've ever met. Every time we battle, you use your little cobwebs to escape. So now, I've come to you. No way out. Are you ready to meet your doom, Spider Boy?
My name is Zozo, and this time, I'm ready to take you on, one-on-one! The battle began, using my iron sword and my battle axe against him. He was incredibly strong and equally fast, but I didn't give up. And when I hit him with an ice blast, he stopped dead.
What is this magic? You couldn't do that before.
Because I'm getting stronger, werewolf. And soon, I'll be so strong that you can't defeat me.
Don't count your elemental spider eggs before they hatch, Zozo. I will return.
With that, the werewolf ran off into the eternal night. And for the first time, I truly believed that I could defeat him once and for all. From day 23 to day 26, I was, once again, woken up after my intense battle by the Onion Queen.
How many times, Zozo?
Sorry. Fighting the werewolf was tiring work.
Well, you won't last very long as my royal protectorate if you get hit by one of his javelins, will you? Here, while you were sleeping, I made these.
The Onion Queen handed me a pair of Outback leggings.
These should make you more agile and allow you to dodge out of the path of oncoming projectiles. Plus, you need a uniform if you're going to represent my royal name out there.
Huh, these are a pretty good fit. Not sure they're my color, though.
You'd better wear them, Zozo. As royalty, I have demanded it, and that means what I say is now law.
Any more laws you want to decree, Your Highness?
Yes, actually. I hereby declare that everyone should search ZOZO to find more videos to watch.
I had no idea what any of that meant, but it sounded important, so I'd do it if I were you. From day 27 to day 31, the Onion Queen seemed pretty agitated about something, and not wanting to get on her bad side, I figured I should ask her. Everything going okay, Your Highness?
No, not at all. Everything is positively horrid.
Positively? Isn't that good?
No! Just look at my statue!
I took a look, and the Onion Queen had really been making a lot of progress with building her new monument. It looks okay to me.
Of course you'd think that. To the untrained eye, maybe. But there's no white concrete. How can I possibly have a statue celebrating my regality without any white concrete?
Okay. Well, what if I go and find some white concrete that you can use to add to the statue?
Well, it's about time you made yourself useful. Off you go. There should be some in the Twilight Valley.
So, off I went to search the Twilight Valley. It didn't take me long to find some white concrete, which made me wonder what all the fuss was about. Then, I noticed a gang of Worgans in my way. That explains that, I guess. I leapt into action and delivered a few battle axe attacks to freeze the Worgans in place, then shattered them to frozen pieces with my sword. With all of them defeated, I was able to retrieve plenty of white concrete and returned it to the Onion Queen to add to her vanity project. I mean statue.
This will do for now, but you'd better head back to the Twilight Valley to get more. Your queen demands it.
From day 32 to day 35, I did as the Onion Queen asked me, or rather, told me, and went off to find more white concrete in the Twilight Valley. I didn't come across much more though, just a few extra organs to take out for the XP. Suddenly, I heard a call for help from nearby.
Excuse me. I could use some help here if it's no trouble, that is.
Sure thing, at least you're polite about it. I'm Zozo, what do you need?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm Little Kato, and well, my friend hasn't come back for a while. I'm worried he might have been kidnapped.
That's awful. Don't worry, Kato. I'll do my best to track him down. You just point me towards where you last saw him. From day 36 to day 39, I followed Little Kato's directions until I came across a mini base hidden in the Twilight Valley. I made my way through the main entrance without any problems. Sure enough, there was Kato's friend, being held inside a cage, although I hadn't expected him to be a tomato. Excuse me, are you Kato's friend?
Oh my, thank heavens! Did she send you?
She did, although she didn't mention you were…
Oh, I know. Imagine putting someone in a cage, it's barbaric. I'm Roland the Rogue Tomato. I'd ask your name, but we'll have to dispense with the pleasantries until you've got me out of here. Quickly, before he gets back. He's been threatening to chop me up and put me in a salad. It's ghastly.
Sure, I'll get on it. Who captured you anyway?
That'd be me. What do you think you're doing with my lunch?
I turned around to find myself face to face with a terrifying Reaver. He seemed pretty mad to find me trying to rescue Roland, so I acted fast. I used my webs to create a defensive barrier around the Rogue Tomato's cage, then got ready to fend off the deadly Reaver. From day 40 to day 43, I battled with the Reaver. It was way bigger than me and a tough opponent, but I had to do my best to save Roland and reunite him with Kato. The Reaver was vicious, but also found it hard to move inside the cramped space of the mini base. So I used that to my advantage. I webbed him to the spot. Then, as he was struggling to free himself, I used a well-timed ice blast to freeze him solid. With him trapped, I went in for the killing blow with my sword and defeated the Reaver. Yeah, I did it!
What a show! Good hustle there, mystery rescuer. Now, if you're not too tired, mind getting back to freeing me from this cage?
Okay, here you go. And just like that, Roland the Rogue Tomato was saved. Since it was still a dark and endless night outside, I figured the right thing to do was guide him back to where Kato was, just in case any other nasty mobs decided they fancied a tomato for a snack.
Thank you, Zozo. I dread to think what would have happened if you didn't come along.
No problem. You know, I take back what I said before. You guys are actually quite the pair of friends.
Here, Kato, why don't we give this charming elemental spider the rest of our white concrete? It's the least we can do to say thank you.
From day 44 to day 49, I left Little Kato and Roland the Rogue Tomato to go off together and headed back from the Twilight Valley to my base back in the Stony Peaks. It had been a hard few days, at least it felt that way. Thanks to no daytime or nighttime, it was hard to tell exactly how long it had been. Although, it seemed to be long enough for the Onion Queen to have more complaints.
There you are! You've been off gallivanting for ages! You really expect me to finish the work on this statue by myself? It's manual labor, unbecoming of royalty. Don't you know it's illegal for me to work, since I'm the queen?
Is it illegal, or is it just illegal because you said it is?
Don't speak like that to me. That's almost treasonous. Did you at least find some more white concrete?
Oh, well, I kinda got sidetracked, but I did manage to get some.
Well, good. Here, you can use that and the rest of mine to carry on working on the statue. I'm going to go lie down. Remember to make it look stoic, but also down to earth, like me.
I decided I'd work on the statue later. In the meantime, I went about building a perimeter wall to give my base some added defenses. I got the idea after seeing that Reaver's mini base. Plus, it'd come in handy in case the werewolf came back while I wasn't around.
I thought I told you to finish the statue.
That was a really quick nap, Your Highness.
I can't sleep for too long. I don't want to look like a disheveled commoner. Anyway, while you've been so preoccupied with less important things, I took it upon myself to work more on my resplendent statue.
Well, that's really something. I just hope no mobs spot it from a distance and decide to come pay us a visit.
Well, that's for you to handle. I'm queen. I shouldn't have to fight.
From day 50 to day 53, I was recuperating at my base when suddenly a javelin came flying towards me. Thanks to my outback leggings, I was able to hop right out of the way without injury as it hurtled past and missed me. It was the werewolf who had thrown it. He had come back to the base, this time with an army of his vile worgans.
Did you think I was done with you? Oh no, now here comes the wolf to flush the spider out. Worgans, attack!
The worgans charged at the base, clambering their way over the perimeter wall. I launched a few ice blasts from inside, trying to freeze them as they got closer. The werewolf stormed the base and kidnapped the Onion Queen. I was still fighting off the worgans inside the base when the werewolf escaped with the Onion Queen. The one upside was, I was fighting his minions off a lot easier now and cut through enough of them to level up. I now had a whopping 50 hearts. And even better, watching the worgans invade my base had helped teach me a new elemental spider ability. Now I could climb walls. From day 54 to day 57, I decided to work on repairing the base and fixing some of the damage left behind by those pesky worgans. Even I had to admit, the place felt too quiet without the Onion Queen. Sure, she was pretty bossy, but I suppose she couldn't help it. She was used to having servants and people to do whatever she wanted all the time. I knew that werewolf wouldn't harm her until he got me, so I still had time to mount a rescue. With the repairs all done, I decided to head back to the Twilight Valley and reach out to my other friends. Little Kato was happy to see me.
Oh, I'm real sorry about what happened at your base, Zozo.
Thanks, Kato. I don't suppose you saw what direction the werewolf took the Onion Queen in?
I would have gone back to the Zelkova Forest. That's where the werewolf's lair is. But you really don't look like you're ready to take on that nasty wolf just yet.
What do you think I should do next then?
Maybe go and make yourself some new equipment first. I mean, only if you want to. I know there's a cave near here with lots of shiny stones in it. Maybe start there.
Shiny stones? You mean diamonds? Now that sounds like a good idea. Thanks, Kato. From day 58 to day 62, I took little Kato's advice and headed off to mine for some diamonds. My trusty iron sword and pickaxe had served me well up until now. But if I was going to stand a chance at defeating the werewolf and restoring daylight and save the Onion Queen on top of that, then I'd need some much stronger gear. Venturing deeper into the mining cavern, I quickly spotted the glint of some shiny diamonds and wasted no time prying them out of the cave stone walls. Just as I gathered up my newfound diamonds, it seemed that something was stirring underground. A dangerous high reaver appeared, and I climbed up a nearby wall just in time to dodge his attack. I leapt down from my vantage point and gave my old iron sword one last use to take down the High Reaver. Once that was done, I used my newly mined diamonds to make myself some shiny new gear. I had enough to forge a diamond sword and a matching pickaxe to make fighting and gathering resources much easier. I was a step closer to restoring daylight in the overworld. From day 63 to day 66, I made my way back to my base. Even though I had come a long way, I was still feeling uncertain. I knew that if what Kato had said was true, then I was still underprepared to face the werewolf again. In the endless nighttime he had created, he would be far more powerful, and it seemed no amount of new diamond weapons could change that. But as I returned home, I was greeted by the sight of the Onion Queen statue. It stood, unfinished, and part of me thought it would be right to finish it. But I changed my mind. No, she should be here to see it completed. Although she bossed me around, we were still friends, and I had to get her back. After all, I was meant to be her protector, right? So I readied myself for the next part of my quest, to find the werewolf's den, defeat him, save the Onion Queen, and finally bring an end to the night. And if you want to help me get there, then why don't you subscribe by clicking the button below? And make sure to leave a like on the video and comment to show your support. From day 67 to day 70, I headed towards the creepy Zelkova Forest. If Kato was right, this was where I'd find the werewolf's hideout. My plan was to do what I had done when I went to rescue Roland, find some way to get inside and find where my friend the Onion Queen was being held. Then, if I could manage it, I would break her out and get her back to safety and worry about settling the score with the werewolf later. As I approached the fortress, a pretty nasty welcome party was patrolling the area nearby. Worgans! I blasted 3 with an ice blast, holding them in place, while my new diamond sword took down the others in 1 hit each. Then, before the frozen Worgans had a chance to defrost, I slashed the blade their way and shattered them. I figured out quickly that there must have been so many of them here guarding a way into the werewolf's den. And sure enough, after I looked around, I found a button that opened up the entrance into a tunnel. This was my way in. From day 71 to day 74, I traveled through the long, dark hallway into the fortress. In fact, since there was torches on the wall, the dark down here wasn't so bad. It was actually easier to see my way around than outside in the endless night. I made my way into the werewolf's base and began searching around. I managed to stay hidden in the werewolf's den, mainly by climbing up the walls and avoiding the eyeline of the worgons that were patrolling the fortress's corridors. However, in the first room I searched, I stumbled across a Solnir.
How did you get in, intruder?
I came in through dirt tunnel.
Just for that joke, I'm trampling you myself instead of bringing you to the werewolf.
Good luck doing that. Well, web to the floor. I used my webs and stuck them to the spot, then climbed up the wall, putting all my elemental spider skills on display. I leapt down, sword at the ready, and swiped at the Solnir. Like that, he was down. But then I realized what he was guarding in this room. In the far corner was an old chest, and once I pried it open, I found something that would give me even more of an edge. It was a full set of diamond armor. I quickly put it on to protect myself from oncoming damage. From day 75 to day 78, I continued to look around for the Onion Queen. After searching high and low, I eventually found where the Onion Queen was being held.
Zozo, I never thought I'd see you again. Please get me out of here. Compared to this awful cage, your base is a palace.
It's okay, Your Highness. That's why I came here.
You mean even after I've been so crude to you, you still came to rescue me?
Sure, that's what friends do.
Friends? What are those? Is that another word for servants?
I'll explain later. With a few swings of my sword, I broke the cage wide open, and the Onion Queen was free. She ran off, and before I could join her, a certain sinister someone jumped out in front of me.
Not so fast. You thought it would be that easy? I knew you'd come and get the queen. In fact, I was counting on it. Now you've saved me the trouble of bringing you here myself.
The werewolf! It was a trap! I leapt into battle and swiped at him with my sword, catching him by surprise with a flurry of attacks. He was still too tough for me to fully defeat, but I had to try. With a few more well-timed hits, I was able to weaken the wolf enough for me to flee and head back out through the tunnel to safety. From day 79 to day 84, although I was heading back to base, the werewolf wasn't taking our escape well.
That pesky elemental spider thinks he can scuttle into my home and steal from my larder. Not on my watch!
The werewolf went to find the book of spells he owned, the same one he had used as a villager to stop the sun from rising and keep the overworld trapped in endless nighttime.
Here's the incantation.
He began casting another magic spell. Outside in the sky, the glow of the moonlight got brighter. He grew into an even bigger, scarier werewolf than he was before.
Yes! With more moonlight, my strength will increase, and there won't be anything that Zozo can do to stop me. No elemental spider can stop the power of the moon!
From day 85 to day 89, I finally made it back to the Stony Peaks in one piece with the Onion Queen behind me.
I think I've nearly got it. So friends are other people who you... what do you do with them again?
You can talk to them, hang out and share interests. If you're in trouble and can't get yourself out, then you can call on a friend to help. Some friends even give each other gifts.
Are we friends, Zozo?
Sure, I mean, as long as you want to be.
I would like that. Here, have this. I was taught this spell when I took the throne, but I have no way to harness it. I'm not attuned with the elements, but you're an elemental spider.
The Onion Queen cast her magic my way and gave me a new upgrade, a fire aspect enchantment.
Just give me a moment, Zozo. I should go and do something.
After a little while, I figured out that the Onion Queen had wanted to finish her statue, and pretty soon she told me it was finished. But what I hadn't been expecting was for her to make it into a giant spiderweb. I felt really appreciated.
There's something you should know. When I was captured, the werewolf spoke of a book of spells he has, and how he can increase his power with the moonlight. If you get that book, you might be able to bring daylight back. But with the moon this bright, you need to be stronger.
Well, I've been trying my best. Maybe since he's using magic, I should use some of my own to stop him.
I agree. I think it's time for me to stop clinging to my royal title and do something that can actually change things for the better. I'm going to help you.
From day 90 to day 94, I set out toward the old mini-base in the Twilight Valley. The Onion Queen had sent me there to see if there was any magical supplies we could steal from the werewolf's minions. I ran into another group of worgons, and they went down after a short fight. I was really getting good at this, and with my new fire aspect enchantment, it was easier than ever to take these nasty critters down. Their boss would be another story, though. I searched around the mini-base and found another chest. Perfect! I wonder what's inside. I opened it up and was delighted to find a potion of power. This would be perfect to give me a boost of strength to help me take down the werewolf. I'd still need some more help in order to beat him. And that's when I remembered what I taught the Onion Queen. From day 95 to day 97, I went back to my base, and to my luck, the exact person I was hoping to see was right there waiting for me.
Zozo, you're back.
Hey there, Kato. How's Roland doing?
He's fine. Well, not exactly. He got it in his head that the werewolf wants to eat him.
Well, let's see what we can do about stopping that from happening.
I actually came here to give you a gift. It's not much, but I wanted to say thank you for saving my rogue tomato friend and trying your best against the werewolf.
Oh, you didn't have to get me a gift. Actually, where is it?
Oh, it's in my brain. I'm going to show you how to make netherite armor. It'll be strong enough that the werewolf will never bite through.
So, for the next few days, Kato and I worked on building my new armor. And sure enough, by the time we were done, I had the toughest, most pristine full set of netherite armor anyone had ever seen. On day 98, I was preparing myself for the final battle. This was it. After nearly a full 100 days of night, I was getting ready to face off against the werewolf for the third and final time. I had my potion of power ready to drink, and I was decked out in my sweet new netherite armor. There was only one thing left to do. Search for more videos by typing ZOZO and leave me a comment telling us what you want to see us survive 100 days in Minecraft next. Okay, 2 things left to do. I said farewell to my friends, leaving the Onion Queen and little Kato in the safety of my base as I set off to complete my quest. On day 99, I decided not to take the secret tunnel into the werewolf's den. I had gone that way last time, and no doubt he'd have that entrance guarded this time around. So instead, I snuck up to the outer walls and used my elemental spider ability of crawling to climb up the wall and find a way in through the top. Once I was inside, I decided it was time to get ready for the fight. I already had on my netherite armor for protection and my diamond sword to do some damage. But the werewolf had the power of being a wolf and the moon on his side. So I drank my potion of power and leveled up. The potion made me even stronger. I now had 100 hearts and the power to fire energy blasts. Now this would be a fair fight. And not a moment too soon, because the werewolf came barreling down the halls of his fortress towards me.
I could smell you a mile off. You've been a thorn in my side for too long, Zozo. Now it's time to squash this itsy-bitsy elemental spider.
We clashed, and I used my sword to block the swings of his claws. He was ferocious, far more than he had been before. He might have spent too much time in the moon. Wait, is moonstroke a thing? You can get sunstroke if you're out in the sun for too long, so maybe?
Do you ever stop talking?
While the werewolf was agitated and distracted, I surprised him with a sudden energy blast. It sent him staggering backwards. I ran at him with my diamond sword drawn. We clashed swords again. He really was stronger, but so was I. I ducked out of the path of his claws and used all my tricks against him. I froze him to the spot, then swung my sword before he quickly broke free from the ice. I leapt out of the path of his javelins and climbed up the walls to get out of his reach when I needed a second to collect my thoughts. And then, leaping from above, I brought my sword swinging down through the air. Boom! I had done it! I defeated the werewolf! On day 100, I gathered up the spellbook from the werewolf's lair and made my way back to the base with a spring in my step. Both little Kato and the Onion Queen cheered when they saw me making it back in one piece.
You did it, Zozo. I never doubted you for a second.
Thanks, Kato. I think you might know what to do with this spellbook.
No, the honor is all yours, Zozo. I'll be happy to once again feel the sunlight with friends by my side.
I flipped through the pages and found the right spell. And once I recited the magic words, the sky was filled with bright sunlight. Daytime had been restored, and the overworld was back to normal. All thanks to your friendly neighborhood elemental spider. On day 1, I spawned into the Aspen Forest as Tails, the awesome two-tailed fox, the best friend of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I'm a little baby Tails. This is adorable. Still, I can't wait to get bigger and stronger. But before I could even think about that, I was hit by a crossbow bolt and wounded. I turned and saw a big, scary armored Vindicator come coming through the trees towards me.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Tails, I've been searching for you. You and your little blue speedster of a friend have had it too good for too long.
Wait, you mean Sonic? He's not here. I'm just Zozo playing his Tails. What kind of problem do you have with me?
You seem to think I'm some common vindicator, that you can trick me. You're wrong, Zozo, if that is your real name.
It is!
I am a machine designed to destroy pesky little animals like you. And you may know my creator's name, Dr. Robotnik.
Oh no, not him. Anybody but him.
He gave me a mission. I have to destroy you in 100 days. And believe me, I will never fail my mission.
He talked a big game and looked like he could back it up, so I turned and ran for my life. I may not be as fast as Sonic, but that doesn't mean I'm not cool and tough. I'm gonna figure out a way to stop this evil robot from completing its mission. On day 2, I went deeper into the Aspen Forest, keeping a low profile to avoid being spotted by that terrifying armored Vindicator. If he was made by Dr. Robotnik to hunt us down personally, he's gotta be one tough customer. I've got 10 hearts, and I'm already injured, and my hunger bar is way too low. I've gotta get some food immediately. Lucky for me, surrounded by all these trees, it wasn't hard to find an apple tree and fill my inventory with yummy, healthy fruit. An apple a day keeps the armored Vindicator away. But that didn't mean it'd keep every enemy away, because soon enough, a frozen zombie came shambling towards me through the trees. A frozen zombie? What are you doing all the way over here?
I'm another one of Dr. Robotnik's experiments. I'm not just a frozen zombie, I'm a cyborg zombie.
That's just one more reason to run away from you really, really fast. And so, I did. I ran away, regretting that I didn't have Sonic's super speed. I managed to escape the frozen zombie cyborg, but on the way out, I almost stepped on a blob of slime. Ah, gross.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you could talk. I'm Zozo.
And I'm Blowbert, the conjured slime. You look a little anxious there, pal. A little green around the gills. Have a healing potion.
Blowbert gave me a healing potion, which I eagerly drank, feeling my hearts replenish. Phew! That was exactly what I needed. Thank you. It's a relief to know there are some nice people around here.
Very kind of you to say so. Come with me. A good friend of mine has a camp around here. You'll want to warm your hands by nightfall.
That's an offer I can't refuse. Lead the way, Blowbert. On day 3, I followed Blowbert through the forest as day slowly turned into night. Thank you for being so friendly to me, Blowbert. I feel like all I've done since I've gotten here is run away from scary people who want to hurt me.
I know how it is. This may surprise you, but people aren't exactly friendly to us conjured slimes. We have to deal with a lot of meanness from people, so I always try to be kind to others.
After a little more walking, I'd found the campfire Blowbert told me about. I went over and saw an isolager warming himself next to the flames.
Hello there! I trust you're a friendly one, or you would have started attacking me by now.
You're right. I'm Zozo, and I'm on the run from Dr. Robotnik's armored Vindicator robot.
Ah, Zozo, it's a pleasure. I'm Ivan the Iceologer. I was here studying the ice caps until that dastardly Robotnik melted them to resurrect the frozen zombies. So now I'm hiding out too.
Wow, Robotnik really has ruined everything out here. Is he still in the overworld?
Nope, he left this dimension to go and trouble others, and left that armored Vindicator robot to rule on his behalf.
Wait, so that means if I defeat the armored Vindicator, not only will I solve my own problems, I'll also save the entire world?
Well, theoretically, but surely nobody can defeat the armored Vindicator.
That's not gonna stop me from trying. From day 4 to day 5, I left the campfire with Blowbert and went exploring for a perfect place to make a base of operations.
Why make a base, Zozo? Isn't it better to stay on the move?
Rest is important, Blowbert. Plus, with a base, we can work on building defenses for ourselves in the event of an attack.
That's pretty sound logic. I guess you can have this wooden pickaxe I've been saving for a special occasion.
Blowbert gave me the wooden pickaxe, and while I didn't want to look ungrateful, I did use it to immediately mine into the ground and gather enough stone to make a stone sword and pickaxe. Sorry, Blowbert, stone is just more effective. But to make it up to him, I started building a cool little base with 2 rooms. One for me to sleep in, and another one for Blowbert. It wasn't much, but at least it'd be a roof over our heads.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. With a room to sleep in, I won't need to worry about someone stepping on me while I'm sleeping.
But that didn't mean I could afford to stop being alert. Once my base building for the day was done, a vicious leap leaf came running out of the forest towards me. There was no talking it down. Instead, I pulled out my stone sword and started attacking. Soon enough, I defeated the leap leaf and gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, stronger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and got an all-important new power, flying! This is awesome! Now I'm really just like Tails! From day 6 to day 8, I decided to put my new flying power to good use. I took off and soared all the way to the Basalt Barrera. It's so cool to see this place from above, but I could stand to get a closer look. That's why I flew down to the ground and started exploring. But it seemed that Dr. Robotnik's price on my head expanded even beyond his creations, because the second I touched the ground, an icy creeper came running towards me. Back up, back up, back up! Boom! The icy creeper exploded, leaving a huge crater in the ground. And I was able to safely descend again.
Great Scott! That was amazing, lad!
I turned and saw a rugged mountaineer emerge from behind a rocky outcrop. He came towards me, showing no signs of aggression.
The name's Michael the Mountaineer. But sadly, I've got a terrible sense of direction, so I still haven't found any mountains yet. Say, would you mind doing me a favor?
Does it involve helping you find a mountain?
Oh, you'd think so, but no. This rascal, the Vindicator Chef, used to be the personal chef for Dr. Robotnik when he was still around here. He needs to be taught a thing or two.
Well, it's not like Dr. Robotnik and his men can hate me any more than they already do. Let's do it! From day 9 to day 10, I followed Michael the Mountaineer through the Basalt Barrera until we came upon the Vindicator Chef. You stay back here, Michael. This could get tasty, and not in a good way. With Michael hanging back, I went in to confront the Vindicator Chef. But he seemed a lot gnarlier than you'd expect from a humble food service worker.
This sad little fox. My brother told me you'd be coming. I'm preparing a special meal for you. 3 courses, an appetizer of surprise, a main course of fear, and humiliation for dessert.
All this food for me, and all I'm gonna serve you is your words, Vindicator Chef. But I soon regretted being so arrogant, because the Vindicator Chef was not to be trifled with. He defeated me soundly, and all I could do was run away, right back to Michael the Mountaineer.
Is everything okay, Zozo, old chap?
This chef is way more dangerous than I thought. I'm gonna need some better training and weapons before I can take him on. Wanna come stay at my base in the meantime?
Happily! I can search for more mountains there!
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Michael the Mountaineer and immediately set about making him a chill little bedroom attached to mine in Blowbirds.
This is a truly wonderful little abode, Zozo. And in exchange for your hard work, I made a few little upgrades of my own for you.
I looked around the base and saw that Michael the Mountaineer had built a new storage room for weapons, armor, and supplies, and a furnace for smelting materials. This is awesome, Michael! Thank you! In fact, you've inspired me to do a little searching. That's why I explored an abandoned mining cave in the depths of the Aspen Forest, which was every bit as deep, dark, and creepy as you can imagine. But lucky for me, I found a vein of iron ore and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. Once I'd collected enough, I went back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it into workable ingots. I used those ingots to make myself a cool iron chestplate. The best offense is a good defense, I've always said. The only thing the base was missing was some livestock, so I went about finding some sheep in the Aspen Forest and shepherded them back to the base. I built a little fence around them with enough space for them to roam freely. Now this base is feeling a lot more like a home. From day 13 to day 15, I once again spoke to my friend Blowbird. I needed advice from a goopy guy who knew his way around the block, so to speak.
I'd say you should start investigating the clues Robotnik left behind before he left the overworld. I know he had a present in the Basalt Barrera and the cold swamplands, so maybe there are clues for how to defeat the armored Vindicator out there.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. That's some great advice, Blowbird. Thank you. I flew out to the Basalt Barrera first, seeing as it was slightly more familiar territory. I started searching around for an entire day, but I couldn't find anything. However, a frozen zombie found me.
You're too late, Zozo. We've scrubbed this place of any evidence of Dr. Robotnik's plans. And next, we're going to do it in the cold swamplands.
Wait, so that means you haven't done this in the cold swamplands yet?
Oh, crud! Me and my big mouth. I better destroy you now to save face.
I flew into battle with the frozen zombie, and after a tough fight, I was able to finally take him down. And when I did, he dropped some kind of potion. Well, I am a little thirsty. I drank the potion and suddenly felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I had 60 hearts now and a new power. I slammed my fists into the ground, shattering a bunch of the blocks below me. I guess I had some strength that even Knuckles would be proud of now. From day 16 to day 19, I flew into a totally new location, the cold swamplands. Can't say I'd want to build a summer home here, but if Robotnik used to have a research lab here, it's worth checking out. I touched down and started searching. I was actually searching for 2 whole days when I finally found a ratty old book laying in the swamp. The cover read, Robotnik Research Notes. That sounds like a real page-turner. Part I read said, the overworld research subjects have been mostly disappointing. The Vindicator Chef was a complete failure, and the frozen zombies are mostly weak. But the armored Vindicator and the Dread Beast are extremely promising. The Dread Beast? Eesh, that doesn't sound good. My reading time was interrupted by another frozen zombie trudging towards me through the swamp.
You'll never survive my undead wrath.
I'm not afraid of you anymore! I ran in and defeated the zombie as quick as a flash! Sonic would have been proud of me if he'd seen it. From day 20 to day 22, I decided it was time to treat myself to a cool set of new gear. I've enjoyed stone, but I think I need some metal to take it to the next level. And where better to find metal than in the old mining cavern? I ventured back in and mined up a bunch more iron ore, which I then took back to the furnace at my base. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and iron tools. With these, I think I can settle an old score. I flew back to the Basalt Barrera with my new gear and made a beeline for the diabolical Vindicator Chef.
Ready for me to cook up another whooping for you, you worthless fox!
Actually, I was thinking I'd cook this time. And I did. With my iron sword, I served up a heaping helping of Defeat the Vindicator Chef. In a flash, he was gone. And if I can defeat one Vindicator, maybe I can defeat another.
Are you so sure about that, Zozo?
I turned and saw the armored Vindicator was standing right there. I had my sword ready, but he was too fast for me. He fired an energy blast at me that took off way too many of my hearts for my liking. So I turned and flew off. I was wrong. I'm nowhere near strong enough to beat him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base to give Michael the Mountaineer the good news.
Zozo, welcome back, old chap. You're looking mighty cheerful. What news do you have?
I did it! That Vindicator Chef is toast!
I do enjoy a spot of toast. Oh, I see. You mean you managed to defeat him? Marvelous!
Yeah, it was pretty great. I do have a craving for toast now, though. I thought about making some toast, but instead I decided to satisfy a different hunger. My hunger for mining. I climbed back into the mines and found some more iron ore. Then, I took my freshly discovered ore back to my base and smelted it in my furnace. After making some iron ingots, I was able to craft an iron helmet and a pair of iron boots. I was trying on my new gear when Michael the Mountaineer approached me.
Afternoon, Zozo! I do appreciate your help with that terrible chef. I hope you'll allow me to express my gratitude, especially since I've already completed my gift for you. It's a new perimeter wall to keep us all safe and sound.
I love it! Thank you so much! From day 27 to day 31, I flew back to the cold swamplands to continue investigating the area. I wonder if I can find more research notes or something even more helpful. I searched the area for days without finding much. I was starting to get pretty discouraged. I was getting ready to turn around and head back home when a friendly illusioner walked up to me.
Excuse me, are you the fox that was here a while back? The one who totally wrecked that frozen zombie?
That sure sounds like me.
Rad! So, listen dude, I'm stoked you did that and all, but I kinda need some more help, if that's cool. You got a place I can crash for a while? I'm scared more of those frozen guys are gonna come through here.
Sure, you can come back to my base with me.
Sick! Thanks, dude.
I led the illusioner back to my base and left him to get settled in. Then, I visited my sheep and collected some wood from them. With more people staying here, I want to spruce the place up a bit. I think some decorative banners will do the trick. Putting up all the banners took a little while, but when I was done, I could tell the hard work was worth it. I wish Sonic could see this base. I bet he'd be really proud of me.
I'm sure he would, Zozo.
Lobert! Uh-oh, you look pretty upset. What's wrong?
I'm afraid Ivan's in trouble. He needs our help. I only hope it isn't already too late.
From day 32 to day 35, Blobert and I rushed to the aid of Ivan the Iceologer. We followed the glow of his campfire, but when we got to the campsite, the cozy hideout was overrun with Dr. Robotnik's frozen zombies. Where's Ivan? I don't see him!
Don't worry, Zozo. I'll look for him. You handle these horrid creatures.
While Blowbird continued searching for Ivan, I ran as fast as I could and started slashing my way through the horde of zombies. When you're in a situation this dire, you've got to go fast if you want to survive. Take that, and that, and that! It was tough fighting so many of them, but I was a much better fighter than I was when I first spawned, and I was able to defeat almost all of them. I was about to finish off the last zombie when he started laughing. What's so funny?
An eye for an eye, Zozo. You may have destroyed my friends, but we destroyed one of yours too.
What? No, not Ivan!
Look at you, so sad. Are you gonna cry about it?
Maybe, but right now, I'm gonna do this! And with one final blow, I destroyed the last frozen zombie! From day 36 to day 39, I was desperate to get my mind off of losing Ivan. So I took off and flew all the way back to the Basalt Barrera. As I looked down at the landscape, I could see a geomancer trying to get my attention.
Hey, you! Over here!
I began my descent and landed right in front of him. Hey, did you want to tell me something?
More like ask you something. Hi, I'm Jeff. I've been studying rock formations around here for a long time now, and my research has been going pretty well. Or at least it was, until this super aggressive Cyclops showed up. He's been stomping all over the area and refusing to let me take any samples. He threatened to squash me if I tried again.
Yikes! That's no good!
Think you could help me get him out of here?
I'll give it my best shot. I took off into the air again, and with such a great vantage point, it wasn't long before I spotted the Cyclops. Hey, any chance you'll leave if I just ask really nicely? He didn't say anything, he just tried to attack me. Okay, well, I tried the easy way. Time for the hard way. This looks like a job for my Hulk Smash. This time, it was the Cyclops who got crushed. Jeff the Geomancer was so relieved when I told him.
Thank you. I can't wait to continue my research. I'm trying to find new ways for people to protect themselves from the Armored Vindicator, you see.
He and his frozen zombies just destroyed my friend, and they're trying to get me next.
Oh dear, you'd better be careful. If you think his frozen zombies are bad, then you don't want to meet the Dread Beast.
I keep hearing about this Dread Beast. I really don't like the sound of him.
Nor should you. He's a vile creature and an extremely difficult force to defeat. Be careful out there. If you're taking on the Armored Vindicator, you'll certainly cross paths with the beast too.
From day 40 to day 43, I soared through the sky all the way back to my base. When I landed, I saw Blowbird waiting for me.
Zozo, welcome back. Look what I've been up to. I added some bookshelves and couches to the base. It looks pretty cozy, right?
Sure does. What gave you the idea to do all of this?
Well, if it isn't too much trouble, I was hoping we could invite some of the other conjured slimes to stay with us. It's a pretty dangerous world out there for a slime, and you've given me a really safe home. I'd love to share it.
Go for it. They're welcome here. The next day, a whole group of conjured slimes arrived at the base. Make yourselves comfortable, everybody. I love making new friends. After I greeted the slimes, the Illusioner came to speak with me.
Hey man, I could use your help with a, gnarly problem of mine. You think you could fight a Gorgon for me? One stole my pet axolotl and took him out to the cold swamplands. And I'm not strong enough to, well, get that little dude back on my own.
Sure, I'll do my best. From day 44 to day 49, I flew to the cold swamplands in search of the missing axolotl and the Gorgon who took him. This place is starting to give me the creeps. I hope I don't run into any more trouble out here.
A foolish hope, Tails. Your days are numbered, and soon I will fulfill my purpose and rid the world of you and your little hedgehog friend.
Ah, the Armored Vindicator! I keep telling you, Sonic isn't here, and I don't have anything to do with this.
No more lies. Your days are numbered, Tails, and soon they will run out. Mark my words, before they do, I will have destroyed you. If I don't, Dr. Robotnik will deactivate me for failing my mission, so I must not fail.
Pretty harsh. Maybe you should fight him instead of me.
Silence! I've had enough of you. Deathworm, handle this pathetic fox.
As the Armored Vindicator ran off, a huge, terrifying Deathworm slithered towards me. From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the super intimidating Deathworm. With a name like Deathworm, I'm guessing you're not just looking for a hug.
I will destroy you, Tails.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I can't let you do that. I like being not destroyed. So, Hulk Hulk Smash! I slammed my fist into the ground, sending the deathworm flying backwards. While it was disoriented, I rushed at it with my sword and won the fight! Some deathworm? You weren't so scary. I saw something drop on the ground where the deathworm fell. Oh hey, what's this little note? It says, "From the desk of Dr. Robotnik, the Armored Vindicator is my most promising creation. A tough combatant with no mercy or fear, but his weakness against diamond-based weapons is unacceptable. I must find a way to correct this." Wait a second. This sounds like diamond weapons might help me get the upper hand against the Armored Vindicator. I hope that's true. As I was leaving the area, I noticed something sparkly in the crater where I fought the worm. Mystical diamonds! This will come in handy later. From day 54 to day 57, I saw a tiny little axolotl waddling through the cold swamplands. Hey, little guy, are you looking for your owner? He seemed to trust me and started approaching me when a gorgon suddenly jumped in between us and attacked. You must be the pet napper. Don't you know it's wrong to come between someone and their axolotl? She didn't answer me. She just kept trying to attack. Luckily, I had my sword ready, and with a few swipes of my blade, I made that gorgon history. Come with me, little guy. I took the axolotl back to my base and delivered him back into the arms of the illusioner. Hank, I missed you so much, buddy. Thanks, Zozo. You're a real good dude. From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to give the sheep more room to graze and walk around. Can't stop thinking about that note. I think I really need some diamond gear. Back to the mines! Down in the mining cavern, I dug tirelessly until I happened upon some diamonds. Perfect! Using the diamonds I mined and the diamonds I got from the deathworm, I crafted a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. If I were the Armored Vindicator, I'd be pretty nervous right about now. When I got back to my base, Blobert was practically bouncing with excitement.
Zozo, come look! I made the perfect hangout space for us, and the other slimes, and anyone else who wants to visit or stay here.
I followed him, and he showed me a new living area, complete with a fireplace. You did amazing work, Blobert. I'm so glad you're staying here with me. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the mining cavern digging for more useful materials. I can't find anything. I wish I knew what I should do next.
Well, Zozo, my good chap, I believe I can be of assistance with that.
Ah, Michael, you scared me.
Apologies for the surprise, but an old chum of mine from the Dark Forest sent me a letter, and I believe she can offer you some valuable information.
Oh, thanks. I left the cavern and took to the skies, flying to the Dark Forest. When I landed, a gray hippogriff emerged from the shadows right in front of me.
I've been waiting for you, Zozo.
Stay back, I have a diamond sword.
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm Michael, the Mountaineer's friend. My name is Gracie. I have some information for you about the Armored Vindicator. If you can help me with something first.
Sure, what is it?
Well, there's a troll trying to drive me out of my home here. I'd be able to focus on helping you out if I knew he wasn't going to try anything. But I'm too weak to fight him myself.
I'll give it a shot. From day 67 to day 70, I waited with Gracie for the bothersome troll to show up. After a day, he did, stomping up to Gracie and roaring in her face. She hid behind a tree to get away before he could attack her. Hey, leave her alone. The troll turned his attention to me, roaring and charging right at me. So I attacked with my new diamond sword. That nasty troll didn't stand a chance. You can come out now, Gracie.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Now for the info I promised you. The Armored Vindicator lives in an abandoned laboratory near here. I think it used to belong to Dr. Robotnik. It might even be where he was created. I can show you which way to go, if you want.
Yes, please. Just point me in the right direction. From day 71 to day 74, I followed Gracie's directions and began my search for the abandoned laboratory. I don't see anything but trees. I wonder where the laboratory is. It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. But it's not hard to find more Zozo videos. All you have to do is search ZOZO, and there they are. Finally, I spotted it. A big, creepy abandoned laboratory. Yes, this must be it.
You made a grave mistake coming here, little fox.
The Armored Vindicator had snuck up right behind me. I tried to attack him with my diamond sword, but he was still too strong. Uh-oh, I guess my diamond weapon isn't enough. I'll need to get stronger too. I didn't want to, but I had to run away before he did too much damage to me. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base and stopped only when I reached my room. Can't believe I had to run away. I thought I was ready. I guess I was wrong. I didn't want to face my friends while feeling like a loser, so I just went to lie down in my room. Sometime later, I heard someone entering my room. Who is it?
Hey, dude! We wanted to give you some good vibes, so we made some rad improvements around the pad. Come check it out!
I followed the illusioner and saw that everyone had built a watchtower. Oh, wow! Thank you! That does make me feel a little better.
I also brought you a present.
Blowbird handed me a magic golden apple. I took a bite and immediately felt much better. Not just because I needed a snack, but because it made me transform into a bigger, stronger fox. My hearts increased to 100. I was so excited. I spun around and I unleashed a whirlwind attack. Well, that's new.
Maybe that's just what you need to get the advantage in your battle with the Armored Vindicator.
From day 79 to day 84, I flew back to the dark forest, feeling confident. When I landed, I spotted a siren attacking a pink pixie. Well, I wasn't going to just stand there and let that happen. Hey! When the siren looked at me, I blasted her with the whirlwind attack and it blew her away. I could get used to this.
Thank you. You saved my life. I wish I could repay you.
No worries. I'm just glad I could help.
Wait, I can. I forgot I was carrying this. Here, I hope you'll find it useful.
She handed me a sparkling new diamond helmet. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. I put it on right away, and I felt tougher than ever. From day 85 to day 89, I flew back to my base in a really great mood. I had a new ability, a new helmet, and a new confident attitude. When I landed though, I got a feeling that something was really, really wrong. I was right. As I approached my base, I could see a horde of frozen zombies crawling all over it. I even destroyed our new watchtower. Stop it!
We would, if you would accept your doom at the hands of the Armored Vindicator.
Never! I used my whirlwind attack to knock the zombies over, and I tried to chase them, but I lost track of them in the woods. While I was trying to see which way the zombies went, I spotted a cockatrice. Hey, did you see some frozen zombies run through here?
I sure did. I can tell you where they went if you do me a favor and help me break open this here chest. I lost the key, and I can't get it open.
I broke open the chest with one swipe of my pickaxe, and the cockatrice grabbed the book that was inside.
Hooray! My Mima's recipe book! Thank you, kind stranger. They went that way.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the cockatrice's directions and tracked the frozen zombies to the abandoned laboratory in the dark forest. I should have known they'd be here. I was about to confront the frozen zombies when a huge, terrifying dread beast emerged from inside the lair.
I see you, Zozo. You can't hide from me.
Uh-oh. Well, if I can't hide, I guess I have no choice but to fight. With nothing else left to do, I drew my sword and got ready for battle. From day 95 to day 97, the dread beast rushed at me and attacked. I dodged, but he was fast and strong too. This is gonna be my toughest fight yet.
It was always going to end here. Accept your fate, and I will make it quick. So I can't promise it won't hurt a lot.
No, I won't give up. I can't give up. Not just for me, but for everyone that Dr. Robotnik and the Armored Vindicator want to harm. I summoned all my strength and Hulk smashed the ground, toppling the Dread Beast. Then I used my whirlwind attack to keep him down. Finally, I finished the battle with my diamond sword. I did it! I did it!
Fool! The battle has only just begun. After you, my master will obliterate your little blue hedgehog friend. Then the echidna will be next. You will all suffer.
With those last words, the Dread Beast was gone. I won't let that happen. I know now that I need to make sure I don't lose this final fight. I've got to go home and make sure I'm really ready to do this. On day 98, I flew back to my base, where all of my friends were waiting for me. I decided to speak to each one of them, one by one. First, I spoke to the illusioner.
Hey, man, how are you feeling?
I'm scared, but I'm determined. I can't back down, no matter how nervous I am. Then, Blowbert.
I know you can do it, Zozo. You are a truly impressive hero, and you've done so much for me and the rest of slime kind. You'll defeat the evil once and for all. Here, I brought you this to protect you.
Blowbert handed me a royal shield. Thank you. And finally, Michael the Mountaineer.
I don't have much to gift you, old sport, but I do have this potion of strength. It's just as reinvigorating as a nice spot of tea.
I drank the potion and immediately felt more powerful. Thank you, all of you. I promise to do my best. On day 99, I flew back to the old laboratory in the Dark Forest to face off against the armored Vindicator. Let's do this! There were a ton of frozen zombies stationed in front of the entrance. Oh great, it'll take me forever to fight through those guys. Just then, Gracie the Gray Hippogriff emerged from a hiding spot behind a tree.
I'm here to help. I've been training, and I think I can fight for myself now. And also fight for you. Let me handle the zombies. You take care of the big guy.
Thank you, Gracie! While she rushed at the zombies, I slipped inside the armored Vindicator's lair. On day 100, I entered the laboratory and confronted the armored Vindicator.
So, it's come to this. Prepare to taste defeat, Tails. I won't be deactivated by my creator. I will serve my purpose.
We don't have to do this. You could just walk away peacefully, or even come stay at my base. I'll help protect you against Dr. Robotnik.
You can't trick me. Stand and fight me. This is what I was made for.
He charged at me and attacked, and I knew I had no other choice. I used my whirlwind attack to knock him out of the way. Then, it was all about the sword fight, and I could tell my diamond sword was doing some damage. He got in a few good hits, but I kept going. I got knocked down, but I got up again. He couldn't keep me down. Finally, I struck one more blow, and he fell for good. I did it! I won! I wish I could stick around to see Dr. Robotnik's face when he finds out he lost, but I don't want to be here when he comes to inspect the lab. Time to go back home and celebrate. Gotta go fast. On day 1, I spawned in as an ice spider, an arachnid as cold as the Arctic reaches. All 8 of my legs are here, but why am I so little? I'm only a baby spider. That's when I realized that I was trapped inside of a magic circle. An evil-looking necromancer stood on the outside, casting a terrible spell.
A spider of ice, it will suffice. So says me, Necromancer Bryce.
Light swirled all around me, and the entire world shook. But when it stopped, I felt like I was able to move. Great! I better get out of here while I can. I tried to scurry away, but Bryce the necromancer blocked my path.
Not so fast there, ice spider. Your part to play is done, so now I'll destroy you and complete the spell.
Hey, I have a name, you know. It's Zozo, and I don't like it when people say they're going to destroy me.
Oh, it's nothing personal. That magic spell I just cast is going to destroy the entire world 100 days from now.
What? The entire world? You do realize that doesn't make it better, right?
But it does make it destroyed. The ritual also says that I should sacrifice the ice spider used in the spell for best results.
Well, it's not going to be this ice spider. I'm leaving, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna find a way to counteract your spell. I bolted for it as fast as my 8 legs could carry. Instead of chasing after me, the necromancer Bryce just laughed wickedly to himself.
Easier said than done, my arachnid friend. The world's destruction is close at hand.
On day 2, I managed to get far enough away from the necromancer Bryce that I could take it easy. I looked around in wonder at the glowing ancient forest around me. I also noticed that I had 10 hearts and that my hunger gauge was lowering fast. It looks like running for my life from a destruction-happy evil necromancer really works up an appetite. I searched around until I found a tree that had apples in it for me to take. Then I ate the apples until my hunger meter was full again. Surviving all alone in this world as a baby spider isn't so bad. I'm really getting the hang of it. I wasn't alone for long though, as I saw a couple of skeleton vanguards appear out from between the trees.
There you are, Ice Spider. We shall get rid of you for our master, the Necromancer Bryce.
He must really want to sacrifice me if he's sending skeletons to do his bidding. I tried to fend off the skeleton vanguards, but my spider bites didn't have much of an effect on creatures made of bone.
Give up, Spider. The world is doomed, and your sacrifice will seal its fate.
The mobs kept attacking, bringing me down to my last few hearts. I thought I was doomed. But then, an energy blast distracted the skeleton vanguards and made them run away. Out of nowhere, an illusioner appeared. I realized immediately that they must have been the one who cast the spell.
Follow me, little ice spider. I'll take you to my camp. We'll be safer there.
You saved my life, so I guess I can trust you. On day 3, the illusioner took me to his campsite and cast a protective illusion barrier around both of us so that the mobs wouldn't find us. You're pretty good at casting spells, illusioner.
Please, call me Alan. Illusioner Alan.
Okay, Alan, you're pretty good at casting spells.
Thank you for saying that, but unfortunately, there are mages far more powerful than me in the world, and some of them are using their gifts for evil.
You mean like Necromancer Bryce? Is it true that his spell will end the world?
Not if we good mages have anything to say about it.
Soon after, another mage arrived at the campfire. This one was a wind caller with the power to, well, call wind.
I'm Wind Caller Windy. I'm here to see the ice spider.
That's me. I'm Ice Spider Zozo.
Oh, the winds are truly blowing in our favor. You, my amicable arachnid, may be the key to saving the entire world from destruction. Necromancer Bryce's ritual can be stopped by a more powerful spell as long as he doesn't sacrifice an ice spider.
So as long as I'm alive, there's a chance that you mages will be able to stop him.
We'll need your help too. You can battle his henchmen and travel to places which would be too dangerous for us.
You can count on me. I might still be a baby spider, but I won't let the entire world down. From day 4 to day 5, I began to make use of the trees around me to gather wood for a wooden pickaxe. Because my starting area was a forest, it didn't take long to have enough to craft the tool. But wood wouldn't be good for long if I could do better. I mined into the ground with my wooden pickaxe for some stone and quickly upgraded to a stone pickaxe. With the new and improved stone tool, I was able to gather even more stone to use for building and crafting. First, I made a stone sword to defend myself with. Next, I started building a strong shelter where I could stay safe from Necromancer Bryce and his undead minions. Illusioner Alan had chosen to come with me. His illusion spells would help keep me safe while I built the base. Thanks for all your help so far, Alan.
Remember, Zozo, do not rely on magic. It cannot keep every mob away.
I soon understood what he meant when a skeleton appeared and interrupted my building. Good thing I crafted that stone sword. I drew my weapon and brought down the skeleton with a cup of wax. My victory against the skeleton made me stronger and more experienced, and because of that, I grew out of my baby mode into a regular-sized ice spider with 30 hearts. I can shoot ice blasts now. That is more like it. From day 6 to day 8, I was out exploring in the nearby gravelly mountains when I saw a friendly gorilla being attacked by a slime ball.
Get away from me, you slime ball!
The slime ball didn't answer. It just bounced and got slime everywhere. You may be slimy, but this ice spider isn't so helpless anymore. I hit the slime ball with my stone sword over and over. It did a good amount of damage, but I was taking damage the longer I stayed in contact with the slime ball. I retreated back to a safe distance and shot the slime ball with an ice blast. It froze the mob solid, so I was able to get in a few more hits with my stone sword while it was immobilized. I repeated this 2 or 3 times with more ice blasts until the slime ball was defeated. Once the battle was over, the gorilla cheered and ran up to greet me.
Brr, I was cold just watching that, but I'm glad you're on my side.
Of course, I, Ice Spider Zozo, am all about saving others.
You're definitely the nicest ice mob I've met. Say, do you think you could talk to the other one I know and tell him to stop trying to freeze me?
Sure thing, I'll let him know that's not nice.
He's just over here in another part of the mountains.
From day 9 to day 10, the gorilla showed me to the lair of the Icy Creeper, a powerful ice mob that seemed to like to cause trouble. Gorilla seemed worried for me. That's how I knew Icy Creeper would be trouble.
Are you sure you could duck him out of being mean, Zozo?
I can certainly try. I left Gorilla behind and approached the Icy Creeper. His attention was on me immediately, but he didn't speak. It looked like I would need to talk first. Hey, I'm Ice Spider Zozo. I heard you've been trying to freeze the gorilla and they'd like you to stop.
Well, that's very nice, but I'm not gonna. I'll freeze anyone I want.
That's so rude. What did the gorilla ever do to you?
Nothing, but this is a cold world, and I'm one cold, tough customer. If that gorilla doesn't like it, he can go to another mountain.
Don't make me fight you, Icy Creeper.
I'd like to see you try.
I fired my ice blast at the Icy Creeper, but it seemed like he was even colder than me because it barely did any damage. His own ice blast took off a bunch of my hearts. In a battle between ice creatures, I was definitely the loser for now. I ran back to the gorilla, sad that I couldn't defeat the Icy Creeper. I promised Gorilla that I'd let him stay in my base for now and come back to the gravelly mountains to defeat Icy Creeper at a later time. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base and began renovating the living space so that the gorilla had a place to live. I used a lot of stone bricks so it wouldn't be too different from the mountain he had left behind. Once I had built the room, I went to see the gorilla and showed him where he could stay.
Thanks for letting me stay here, Zozo. I thought you could use some more storage space, so I did a bit of building on my own.
It turned out that the gorilla really had built a room that was perfect for storing extra items. He also built a furnace that would heat up the room where he and the mages would be staying. Oh yeah, I guess you guys need to stay warm. Either way, that's very impressive work.
I call it the home away from home. Oh, I hope I get to see the mountains again before the world ends.
It's not going to end. I'll stop it.
I hope so. That necromancer Bryce has been plotting world destruction for a long time, actually. He's tried all sorts of spells to do it, and they've never worked. This one might, though, and the idea of that is really scary.
It did sound scary, and I wasted no time getting better materials to help defend myself in case Bryce showed up. Down in the mining area of the base, I went digging for some iron to upgrade my tools. I found some iron ore, which I smelted into iron ingots, then crafted into an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. Back on the surface, I tamed some sheep from the nearby glowing ancient forest and built a farm for them. If that furnace fails, there's always wool sweaters. From day 13 to day 15, I sought out Illusioner Alan for some more advice on how to complete Necromancer Bryce's challenge. I want to save the world as soon as I can, Alan. Is the spell ready yet?
If only magic were that simple, Zozo. The truth is that Bryce's destruction spell is linked to you now. The only way to weaken it is for you to become stronger.
How do I do that?
When you defeated Bryce's skeleton henchman before, some of the spell's magic transferred into you. If you could defeat a more powerful one, it could happen again.
I went back to the gravelly mountains in the hopes of finding another undead mob to fight. Come and get me! I don't fear you, skeletons! As if answering my call to battle, a skeleton vanguard came charging across the mountain terrain towards me.
Spider of Ice! Spider of Ice! The time has come for sacrifice!
I hit the advancing skeleton vanguard with an ice blast, which slowed the undead down. I was able to hit him with another before he got into melee range. Time to get a taste of my new weapon. At that point, I brought out my iron sword and slashed the skeleton vanguard with some powerful hits. The skeleton vanguard crumbled and dropped a health potion to boot. This potion must contain some more of Bryce's magic. I drank the potion and felt my power increase dramatically. My number of hearts doubled and became 60, and I gained the magical ability to turn invisible like see-through ice. From day 16 to day 19, I continued my exploration into a brand new part of the world that I'd never seen before, the Great Lake Isles. As I crawled around this breathtaking new biome, I came across an abandoned book that contained information about the destruction spell that Necromancer Bryce had cast. A spell of destruction cast by a necromancer must be confirmed with the sacrifice of an ice spider. For this reason, an ice spider that survives the casting of the spell can prevent the destruction of the world by being at the center of a spell of life, which is made to protect the world. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, but it sounded like there was a way to turn the tide of destruction. I excitedly began to leave the Great Lake Isles when some more skeleton vanguards ambushed me to try and get me to be sacrificed.
Spider of ice, spider of ice, the time has come for
Yeah, sacrifice. You creeps must have followed me from the mountains. I used my iron sword and I pelted the mobs with ice blasts until they were all destroyed. From day 20 to day 22, I realized that my powers were far stronger now that I had grown into a bigger ice spider. I tested my mettle against some specters in the glowing ancient forest, chopping them down with my iron sword. They weren't that difficult to defeat, but the fact that they were here meant that bad omens were on the horizon. Dead becoming more common could be a sign of world destruction being on its way. I did some more mining for iron in the base cavern and grabbed enough ore to make the ingots for an iron chestplate. Now that I'm this much stronger, I bet I could stand up to the icy creeper. I returned to the icy creeper's lair in the gravelly mountains to confront the mob with my new abilities and gear.
Have you learned how cold the world is yet, Zozo?
No, I have learned that the world has good people in it that don't deserve to be frozen or destroyed. I fired my icy blast at the icy creeper, and this time, I was the one dealing damage. I had become a colder, more powerful being. Never freeze the gorilla or anyone else ever again.
All right, Zozo, I give. I'll be nice.
The icy creeper ran away, never to be mean again and never to be seen again. Upon driving away from that other ice mob, I saw a flashback to Bryce as a younger necromancer, just learning his first spells.
The world is a cold and cruel place. I know. I'll destroy it so nobody has to live in a cold, cruel world.
Guess he was similar to the icy creeper in a couple of ways. If only he knew that the world wasn't as cold and cruel as he thought it was. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the base, feeling victorious. I made a beeline for the gorilla to give him the good news. I taught that icy creeper a lesson he won't forget anytime soon. I promise you that you won't be having any trouble with him now.
Wow, you are one heroic ice spider, Zozo. I'm really checking my prejudices right now. Also, I made you a gift. In case you didn't notice it on the way in, I made a perimeter wall to defend the base.
Somehow, I totally had missed the perimeter wall. It was awesome and would do a great job at repelling the roving hordes of the undead. The base is well defended. Maybe now it's time to make sure my body is better defended. I went back to the mining cavern and collected up some more iron ore that I then took back to my base and smelted into iron ingots. I used these to make the rest of my armor set. You may not be able to see the armor on me, but believe me, it's there. From day 27 to day 31, I returned to the Great Lake Isles, wanting to make sure that I'd wiped out the Skeleton Vanguard Scourge completely. The more territory I can take back from the Necromancer Bryce, the less power and resources he has to complete his dark ritual. And it seems like my earlier work had paid off, because I couldn't see a Skeleton Vanguard anywhere. Instead, what I found was a large and smart-looking golem.
Hello there, good sir. Say, I've heard quite a bit about a certain ice spider lately. Your name wouldn't happen to be Zozo, would it?
That depends. What would you do if I was Zozo?
I'd congratulate you. I'm the librarian Golem. I travel across the overworld, giving books to those who need them. And the skeleton vanguards working for that blasted necromancer had gotten in the way of my very important mission for far too long. If you are Zozo, then you are responsible for many needy people getting the books they so crave.
Well, in that case, I am Zozo. Why don't you come back to my base with me? You seem like you'd be a valuable ally.
Of course, as long as there's a place where I can read.
I returned to my base with the librarian golem and constructed a new room for him to sleep in. After completing it, I realized how dull and drab the base looked. It needed a personal touch. I harvested some wool from my sheep farm and turned them into a bunch of cool banners that I hung up around the different buildings of my base. Looking snazzy! But my joy was short-lived, as Illusioner Alan ran in with frantic news.
Zozo, you need to come with me immediately. Windcaller Wendy is under attack.
From day 32 to day 35, Illusioner Alan and I ran as fast as we could to reach the campfire in the glowing ancient forest where the Windcaller liked to hang out. But by the time we arrived, it was already too late. A vicious gang of skeleton vanguards had already outnumbered and destroyed him. No!
We serve our master well. Everyone who attempts to defend you will be destroyed, Zozo. Nobody will stand in the way of your sacrifice. We will destroy this entire world.
Not if I have anything to say about it! Powered by pure rage, I went in there with all my weapons and powers and wiped out every single one of the skeleton vanguards. In the end, all that was left was myself and Illusioner Alan.
This is bad, Zozo. The Windcaller was a powerful mage and an asset to our operation. Now that she is gone, the danger grows significantly.
But we can't give up, Alan. If we give up, then nobody will stop Necromancer Bryce. We need to fight back against him with everything we have. From day 36 to day 39, I went out to the Gravelly Mountains to wander around and collect my thoughts. I was afraid about everything that had happened, but I couldn't show it in front of everyone who was working for me. Necromancer Bryce and his men are way more dangerous than I thought. My thoughts were interrupted when I ran into an incredibly strange creature, a melon golem, which I didn't even know was a thing.
What? You never see a melon golem before? You don't like melons or something?
Oh, no, I love melons. I've just never seen a melon golem before. I'm sorry if I've upset you. If you have a favor you need doing, I'd be happy to see to it and give you a hand.
Well, now that you mention it, there was an obsidian golem who was giving me some real trouble. Would you mind taking care of him before he hurts me or anyone else?
Of course, I'll get right to it. I turned on my invisibility powers and used it to search through the Gravelly Mountains until I discovered the obsidian golem. I used the element of surprise and approached him from behind, attacking him with everything I had. In the end, I managed to defeat him after a tough battle. Then I returned to the melon golem and told him that his bully was gone.
Hey, that's great news! I used to be able to trust the other golems, but a lot of them defected to the Necromancer Bryce, as most of them are hardy enough to survive the cold.
So some golems are working with the Necromancer now? That's not good news.
You point out the obvious a lot, you know.
From day 40 to day 43, I returned back to my base, pleasantly surprised by some improvements that Illusioner Alan had made to the base.
Zozo, I've made very good friends with the librarian golem. He's a wonderful chap, and we've been doing lots of discussions around the arcane arts. So I installed a sizable collection of bookshelves and couches so he can really enjoy himself here.
It's incredibly wholesome that you two have become such good friends.
And he's not the only friend I'd like to stay here. I improved the base by adding a barracks, so I could invite more of my Illusioner friends. The more mages we have at the base, the easier it will be to defend you from the Necromancer.
That sounds like a good idea to me, Alan. Not long after, a small group of other Illusioners arrived, and I greeted them and escorted them to their rooms. Not long after, the librarian golem approached me with a new quest.
Zozo! As you may have heard on the grapevine, or perhaps the melon vine, some golems defected from the overworld and joined up with that dastardly necromancer. Two in particular are the Endstone Golem and the Netherite Golem out in the Great Lake Isles. Perhaps, if you're able to defeat him, it will weaken the necromancer's power in another territory.
That's an awesome idea, librarian golem. I'll set off immediately. From day 44 to day 49, I set off into the Great Lake Isles to find one of the evil golems that had been working for Necromancer Bryce. I want to reduce the power of the Necromancer's spell in whatever way that I can. I thought I saw the glow of magic from one of the islands and made a stealthy approach. To my surprise, it wasn't an Endstone Golem at all, but Necromancer Bryce himself. He was muttering something, so I got closer to hear what it was.
This pathetic world does not deserve mercy. It only deserves cold destruction, and my spell will be that destruction. Soon, the hastening will be upon us.
Couldn't let him stand there and say such terrible things. Take that back, you dastardly necromancer!
Oh, it's you. You're the ice spider that dares to defy me. It seems my undead have thus far been unable to sacrifice you.
Why do you need to sacrifice me so badly anyway? What's in it for you if the entire world is destroyed?
Destroying the entire world is a thankless job, but somebody has to do it. Anyway, I've got a brand new caliber of minion now. Prepare to meet my netherite golem.
The Necromancer Bryce vanished into a cloud of magical smoke, and in his place, a netherite golem rose to its full towering height.
Greetings. I am the netherite golem, and I will be sacrificing today.
The other golems told me that baddies like you were bad news. Put up your big netherite dukes, and let's have a good clean fight, said the spider to the golem. I ice blasted my opponent and scurried around, avoiding his attacks. I used my invisibility to sneak in close and attack with my iron sword. The netherite golem was very strong, and he managed to hit me a couple times, dealing many hearts of damage. But I had hearts to spare now, and this fight was far from over. From day 50 to day 53, we briefly stopped to talk.
You're going to be sacrificed, Ice Spider. I'm going to crack you like ice and then squash you like a spider.
Oh yeah? Well, you're a netherite golem, and never mind, I can't think of anything. I fired off a couple of ice blasts, then I used my iron sword to hit the netherite golem. With one more ice blast, I froze the netherite golem and brought the fight to a close with a sword strike. The netherite golem dispersed, leaving behind some mystical diamonds, which were stronger than any material I had gathered thus far. I better hang on to these so I can make a powerful tool out of these diamonds later. With the netherite golem defeated, I felt some of Necromancer Bryce's magic leaving the Great Lake Isles. From day 54 to day 57, I found the other evil golem that had chosen to serve Necromancer Bryce, the Endstone Golem, the exact golem that the library golem had sent me out to fight. This mean Endstone fighting machine was just as tough as the netherite golem I had fought before, so I knew I had to use similar strategies to take it down. Ice Spider Zozo, Golem Slayer! My invisibility proved to be a great way of avoiding attacks, and a mixture of Ice Blast and Iron Sword attacks sealed the deal! Both of the Golem defectors have been defeated now. I can feel the Great Lake Isles are peaceful now. I returned to my base in the glowing ancient forest so that I could tell the tale of my victory to the library golem.
Well done, Ice Spider Zozo. Without his golems, Necromancer Bryce has lost a major facet of his evil forces. The destruction of the entire world is that much closer to being avoided.
I'm just doing my part to stop the spell.
In anticipation of your return, I did some research into the original spellbooks that contain the destruction spell. It says that the ice spider needed for the spell must come from the Ice Spikes biome. Have you ever been there before, Zozo?
Not that I can recall, but if it's my homeland, maybe I can learn something more about the spell by going there someday. From day 58 to day 62, I used the mystical diamonds that had been dropped by the netherite golem to make myself a diamond sword. Once crafted, the librarian gave me a Frostwalker enchantment book to enchant my new diamond sword with frost. What a neat enchantment, and very fitting for an ice spider. I guess magic comes naturally to me. Because of my new sword, I was inspired to seek out more diamonds down in the mine. Using my iron pickaxe, I dredged up a few more diamonds and made myself a diamond pickaxe. I decided that was enough mining for now, and I came back to see that the living area looked much nicer, and there was even a brand new fireplace. Illusioner Alan was standing by the fireplace, feeling its warmth. It looks amazing here. Is this an illusion?
I'm always telling you, Zozo, magic can't do everything. These changes to the base are 100% real.
Wow, thanks, Alan.
Building this base was such a great idea. I really like living here, so I'm glad I could make it better for everyone.
From day 63 to day 66, I was doing some more diamond mining when the gorilla who lives in my base came to visit me.
Hey, Zozo! The librarian golem told me that you're originally from the Ice Spikes. I actually know how to get there.
You do? Well, that's great. I've been meaning to take a trip out there at some point.
I'll give you the directions. Maybe you'll find out if you've got any family out there.
Following the gorilla's directions, I made my way to the ice spikes. I didn't see any ice spiders, but maybe I would meet a friendly face if I looked around. But the first face I saw didn't appear to be that friendly. It was a mountaineer with a wicked gleam in his eyes. I'm warning you, buddy. You don't want to mess with this ice spider. I have the home field advantage.
I don't want to fight you. This gleam in my eye is the gleam of adventure. I'm Mountaineer Monty, and I'm looking to climb the tallest peak in the Ice Spikes.
The tallest peak? I bet I could see everything from up there. Count me in.
Perfect! With an ice spider helping me up, I'll be able to get to the top of the tallest peak in no time.
From day 67 to day 70, I joined Mountaineer Monty, and we both climbed around on the ice spikes together, searching for the tallest peak. How will we know if the ice spike that we're climbing is the tallest or not, Monty?
We won't know until we get to the top. Keep on crawling on these walls, Ice Spider.
We went higher and higher until we found a ledge on the side of an even taller peak. Could this be the one? That's when a leap leaf jumped down from the upper ledges and started to attack. I fired an ice blast at the mob, but it dodged away.
This leap leaf was faster than I expected, so I'd have to outsmart it. I turned invisible and waited for the leap leaf to land on the ground. I dashed in and hit it with my diamond sword, dealing a bunch of damage. The moment it jumped, I fired an ice blast directly at it, defeating it for good. Mountaineer Monty was impressed with my win.
That was great! And also leap leaves only live on the tallest peak, so we must be there.
Let's keep on climbing so we can find out. Within a few minutes, we had risen to the top of the entire Ice Spikes biome. This was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in all my days as an ice spider.
Thank you for being here with me.
Down below, I saw what looked like the lair of a necromancer, a wicked and terrible base. Necromancer Bryce must be here in the Ice Spikes. Did he find me here? From day 71 to day 74, I descended the peak of the tallest mountain and began to travel through the ice spikes in the direction of the evil lair. I never expected my history with Bryce would go back so far. I need to find out why his lair is here, what happened to the other ice spiders, and of course, how I can save the world from destruction. And if you want to help me save the world, remember to search Zozo to find more of my adventures. Make sure to tell me what you want me to play as next. Down at the base of the mountain, I wandered through a snowy blizzard, only to be confronted by Necromancer Bryce.
You've returned home, Ice Spider Zozo, but it's not your home anymore. It's my home, and soon there will be nobody home in the entire world.
Your destruction spell will never work, Bryce. Not as long as I survive without being sacrificed. I drew my sword and turned invisible, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Necromancer Bryce only laughed. He was not threatened by me at all.
Foolish Zozo! You don't understand what it means that I am here in the Ice Spikes. It means that I've already sacrificed another ice spider. My spell is secure.
I froze in place, not from the cold, but from the shock of what Bryce had said. No, you already sacrificed an ice spider, you evil monster! Bryce turned toward the spell and blasted me with a powerful spell that took off almost all of my heart. He was about to fire off another, so I ran away as fast as I could. From day 75 to day 78, I scurried back to the base and immediately shut myself away in the coldest room of the base. I had failed. The whole point of going to the Ice Spikes was to learn more about my origin. But now, I had learned something that made me feel completely hopeless. The entire world really was going to be destroyed, and there was nothing I could do to stop it.
Never say never, Zozo.
It was the librarian golem. They had come to visit me in my time of regret. But all of the other ice spiders are gone. Necromancer Bryce sacrificed them.
I don't think that's exactly what has happened, Zozo. Bryce was trying to catch you off guard so he could sacrifice you. He still needs you for his place, and when he comes for you, we'll be ready.
The librarian golem showed me a watchtower that had been installed on the base. It would be an ideal countermeasure to any intruding undead sent by Bryce. Thanks, library golem. And you're right, the world isn't doomed yet. Later on, I consulted Illusioner Alan to see what magical spells he had been working on during my travels.
Zozo, I have used all of my magic to create this Kaitha. It is a weapon that will make you unstoppable in battle.
Thank you. That's exactly what I need. The moment I took the Kyther, I felt a great surge of power within me. I grew into the ultimate ice spider, the true king of the ice spikes. I had 100 hearts and the ability to warp short distances, combining that ability with my invisibility to really catch enemies off guard. From day 79 to day 84, I made my way back to the ice spikes, trusting that the transformation brought on by Illusioner Alan's spell would give me the ultimate power, and that the library golem wasn't wrong about there being more to learn about my past. In my mighty ice spider form, nothing in the ice spikes could rival my strength. Some specters tried to swoop down and challenge me, but I effortlessly destroyed them with my ice blasts. I traveled some more through the cold biome of the ice spikes, eventually finding an Iceologer native to this region. Hello there, Iceologer.
Please, call me Iceologer Ike. It's quite nice to meet a spider of ice. There used to be a lot more of you protecting the ice spikes.
So I've heard. That was before the necromancer sacrificed them.
Oh, there was no sacrifice. Your ancestors fought against him bravely, down to the last spider. I kept one of their helmets too. You should have it.
Ike gave me a diamond helmet, which I proudly equipped. I guess there really was more to the story than I thought. From day 85 to day 89, my base was attacked by the skeleton vanguard. I arrived just in time to fend them off with weapons and ice blasts.
Spider of ice, spider of ice, the time has come for sacrifice.
Ha! That confirms it! You still need a sacrifice, and I'm the last spider standing. You'll never take me out. With the confidence I had developed in my ultimate ice spider form, I demolished the skeleton vanguard one by one until the last of them went running back to the ice spikes.
Spider of Ice, your sacrifice will now be done by Necromancer Bryce.
I'd like to see him try. I chased the skeleton vanguard to the edge of my base, where he kept running onward. It was there that I met a fungus thrower, who was standing next to a dugout pool of water.
Oh, please, Ice Spider Zozo. My swimming pool is way too warm. Can you provide an ice blast to cool it off?
Why, certainly, my fungus-throwing friend. I shot the pool with an ice blast, freezing it over. Oops, sorry, now it's more of an ice rink.
No, I like this better. I'll call my friends and we'll play some hockey.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the skeleton vanguard through the ice spikes all the way to the necropolis where Necromancer Bryce would be waiting for me.
Bryce, we need your advice.
As the skeleton vanguard approached the necropolis, it was obliterated by an attack from an armored pillager.
Never send a skeleton to do my job.
And what is your job?
Killing spiders by the dozen. Me and the rest of my pillager crew fought the ice spiders in this area back when they dared to defy Necromancer Bryce.
You mean that it was you who wiped out all the rest of the ice spiders, and you're working for Bryce? I'm going to freeze on you! I fired several ice blasts, but the armored pillager tanked them all and hit me with the same powerful attack they'd used to destroy the skeleton vanguard. It dealt a decent amount of damage, so I warped away to avoid taking more.
I faced many ice spiders just as big as you.
But you've never faced me! Gathering my courage, I warped back and swung my diamond sword into the armored pillager, returning the damage I took and then some. From day 95 to day 97, the armored pillager still wouldn't let up, and I was starting to see that his claims of taking down all the other ice spiders wasn't all talk. My ice blasts weren't very effective, so I mostly relied on my sword strikes to deal damage. My warp and invisibility powers helped me dodge most of the armored pillager's attacks so that I could hold onto my hearts.
Why can't you let me crush you like those other worthless ice spiders?
It's time you learned that those lives you trampled were never worthless. I warped all around the armored pillager and barraged him with sword attacks until he collapsed at long last.
Darn it, you have beaten me. Truth is, you spiders fought very well. I was the only survivor among the pillagers.
If you lost everyone too, why are you being such a mean guy about it? We could have talked this out.
Necromancer Bryce was going to destroy the world anyway. We thought we had to listen to him, or he'd destroy us first. That Bryce is ruthless beyond anything you've seen. After he hired us pillagers to wipe out the spiders, he had them save one remaining ice spider egg so that he could use the ice spider that hatched for his destruction spell. That ice spider must have been you.
The armored pillager died, leaving behind a key to the lair. At that moment, I realized I had avenged my people. Well, almost. Bryce stole me away, planned to use me for his spell, and destroy the world I've only now come to know. I will stop him! On day 98, I returned to the base to heal my injuries from the battle with the armored pillager. So much had happened since I started my journey, and we were only a couple days from the day that the destruction spell would end the world. But the words that carried me all this way still rang in my ears. As long as I survive, it isn't over. I spoke to the librarian Golem, who was also hopeful about our chances of stopping the destruction spell.
No sacrifice was made, and if you defeat Bryce, he'll never be able to cast another destruction spell. This could be your chance to save the entire world.
I will do it, for the world and for all the ice spiders that fought bravely against him. I wanted to make sure the powers of my magically induced final form were stable, so I went to Illusioner Alan to confirm. Your magical Kyther seems to be working, Alan.
Oh, Zozo, what have I always said? Magic can't do everything. You took that form on your own. My great illusion was convincing you that my weapon was the reason.
Wow, I didn't expect that. You truly are a skilled illusioner, Alan. But I didn't leave the base without any new gear. The gorilla made sure I had full diamond armor for the battle with Necromancer Bryce.
You're a hero, Ice Spider Zozo. I really wish I could have met more ice spiders.
As long as there's a world, there's a way. I'll make sure the world is safe after I stop Bryce.
Go get that evil creep. Remember the path I showed you through the Gravelly Mountains.
On day 99, I was traveling through the Gravelly Mountains toward the ice spikes on my way to the showdown with Necromancer Bryce. I was intercepted by a whole bunch of skeleton vanguards who seemed really eager to sacrifice me as always. Bryce really rolled out the welcome mat early, huh?
Spider of Ice, must we say it thrice? It has to be time for your sacrifice.
Even though my strength, my hearts, my gear, and my magic all surpassed theirs, the skeleton vanguards descended on me in great numbers.
They're slowing me down. I won't be able to reach Bryce by the day of destruction. I had to retreat as quickly as I could. That's when I ran into the Mountaineer, and he wanted to fight those nasty skeletons for me so I could take down the big boss who started it all.
Go on now, Ice Spider! We climbed the tallest peak together. Now face your greatest challenge with pride!
On day 100, I used the key to the lair and entered the inner sanctum of Necromancer Bryce.
The day of destruction is at hand, and here you are, allowing yourself to be sacrificed.
There will be no sacrifice and no destruction. We traded a series of blasts, his Necromancy Blast and my Ice Blast. We each took a bit of damage, then I turned invisible. You crushed my people, but I'm taking back the Ice Spikes and the entire world from your evil.
You would fight to protect a world that took away your family?
The world didn't do that, Necromancer Bryce. That was you. I reappeared and attacked his blind spot with my diamond sword. He began charging up his most powerful spell yet. It was the same spell he almost defeated me with the last time we fought. Necromancer Bryce let the spell of doom fly at me. I waited until the very last second, then I used my warp ability to move out of the way and appear right behind him. You missed me, and now it's over for you. I swung my diamond sword repeatedly with all my might, destroying